This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty, yes sir. We are ready to rock. We are ready to roll from beautiful Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Come on by, say hi, get yourself a great vehicle right here. Got plenty of vehicles. Over 1,500 vehicles and trucks and all kinds, and over 400,000 square feet. And hello. I know that we've had some issues, unfortunately, not being able to do the show the last couple of days.
Me.
Yeah, well, we'll solve them, and we'll get them going, and we'll move forward, and we'll do the show a little bit more often, as always. So there you go. GP Trap. I told you, GP Trap, just for you. See? Anyway, so GP Trap was listening on Onside Radio. Said you got to watch the video today. Maybe showing something because he loves his Batman. So I figured I had to get a couple of superhero ones. So I got a Spider-Man, I got a Batman yesterday in the mail. So I figured washed them quickly and got them ready to go.
Did you get the lowest level superhero? Which, of course, is Aquaman, as we well know from Big Bang Theory. Like, nobody wanted to be Aquaman.
Yeah, nobody wanted to be Aquaman. I always thought the Green Lantern was kind of weak because he's like walking around with a lantern. It's like, come on, And it was just, no good. It wasn't even an LED. Hey, it's just terrible, what's he walking around with a candle? I mean, come on. Anyway, so
I will burn you.
Yes. So welcome aboard. Thank you all out there. I see Alexa says I've missed you. We've missed you all out there, and thank you for joining us, and welcome aboard as we've been out for the last couple of days, unfortunately, but everything will get back on track again. Appreciate all of you listening. Also on the Onside Radio side, My Tuner Radio is a new app that you can download Onside Radio anywhere and listen to us, and it's a lot easier than the website. The website, you can hear it and everything, works, but it's not as smooth. The MyTuner Radio app really adds, and we're going to add a couple of more apps, actually. There's another one that already approved us, but they told us next week is when they'll add us. And then there's like another one, too, that already approved us, and it could be going online in the next couple of hours that we will actually get somebody else to be sending our signal out all over the place. So it's really good. I'm looking forward to everything with Onside Radio. It's really the kind of situation that I really like, and I think we're going to develop something pretty damn good overall. So looking forward to. Let me see what the chat board says since we haven't been on. Ian says, Big O, I listen on Onside. This is my favorite format to catch you on. Let's go, Bill and everybody. Thank you out there. Appreciate all of you. Julius305 is saying, wow. Antonio Matos says, yo. Alexa V says, I missed you. NorCal is back. NorCal was, I know he was on Onside. GP Trap, I know, was on Onside. He's here. Gus 1388. Ohio John. Rich V says, what's up, Big O? Was listening to you on Onside Radio this morning. Thank you, Rich V. Appreciate you, my man. Clefton Wellman says, hello, everybody. Jay Gelfand is in. Julius 305. Where you been, Batman? Yeah, you can catch us every day on Onside Radio. Yeah, I've gone nowhere. I just haven't been able to do this every day. But we're on every day at 11 a.m. like normal. You just got to go to Onside Radio and tune in, download the MyTuner Radio app. It's a free app, iOS or Android, and then search Onside Radio, all one word, and it'll come up. And then hit the little star or heart or whatever, favorite it, and you're ready to go. And it's a great way to listen, man. It's nice and smooth. It works really well, the app. Let's see. NorCal says, Bill, will the Bears win this week, being the home dog?
If I was a betting man, I
Who are
would.
they playing?
Is it Minnesota this week? We got.
I don't know. You're the Bears fan.
You know what? I've been saying it all year. When we were 5-2, we should have had 3 losses. You know that.
Yeah.
We're an aberration.
And
we are
Foles,
fake.
and Foles looks like Foles.
Yeah, and you know what? The defense, like you would expect, is worn out. They're tired of carrying the team, and it's like, hey man, you got to do your part.
Yeah.
Okay. Bottom line.
Troy Ortiz says, "What's going on? Oh, just listen to you on Onside. Thank you. Where are you at, Omar? Signed Tua. LOL. Oh yeah. That was funny, right? Tua asking Omar, hey, yo, you're not asking any questions. Let's see. SoFlo fan says, glad to have you back on YouTube. Thank you, sir. M. Shepard says, good to see you back, Big O. Thank you. NorCal says, the new MyTuner app has improved your looks. Oh, yes, it has, because that way you don't have to see me. You are correct. It improves it. Green Lantern is like the mall cop that just carries a flashlight. Exactly. Yes. Alan D., Big O, how do you think our team matches against the Chargers? A win. I picked them to beat the Cardinals. I picked them to beat the Rams. I'm picking them to beat the Chargers. See,
is this right? The Chargers have lost, 5 in a row, I think?
Yeah, something like that. And I had...
Not on Herbert, the whole team, yeah.
I talked to Fernando Ramirez today, the beat writer for the Chargers. I had him on my show on Onside, and I asked him about that. I said, it doesn't look like it's Herbert's issue why they're losing. He was like, no, it's not. It's just... They find different ways to lose. The defense has a terrible quarter, all of that stuff. I think Miami wins on Sunday. I really do. I think they beat the Chargers. But then again, if I picked them against the Rams and I picked them against the Cardinals, how am I not going to pick them against the Chargers? You know what I mean? Both those teams are better than the Chargers right now. So I have, to me, but see, what I love about what's going on with the Dolphins now is – you guys know it because you're the hardcore that has been on YouTube with me for a while now, and you were with me on the get-go from this turnover. I was super confident about Chris Grier. I was super confident about the direction that the Dolphins were going to go in because I know who Chris Grier is. I know who Reggie McKenzie is. I know who Marvin Allen is. Those are exceptional personnel people. I've been saying it for over a year, right? You guys know it. The people will find out that the Dolphins have one of the best front offices in the country, in the league. Let's put it that way. And then all we needed to find out was, can Flores coach? And I think we've kind of learned that the dude can coach. You know what I mean? So what I love what's happening now is that all of these people are catching up to us. Those of us that have been on the bandwagon, those of us that have believed all of that kind of stuff. Even remember the idiots that we used to block early on that were just every day they would just Chris Grier sucks, and it's like, dude, okay, I get it, you don't like him, but never change the take. Even those people, those are the people eating crow, people around the league. But then that's how this is. Everybody overreacts, and they don't know their stuff. They don't know who Marvin Allen is. They don't know who Reggie McKenzie is. Well, some of them may know Reggie McKenzie because of his tenure with the Oakland Raiders. But it's just one of those things that, to me, it's funny. It's watching people catch up to us. You know what I mean? It reminds me a little bit of last week. Last week, we had people overreacting on Tua because he threw for 93 yards. And it was like the most screwed up thing in the world is, wait a minute. So you're complaining for 2 weeks that they're starting him against Aaron Donald and Brockers and company, and they've got a great defensive front. And then you're shocked that he struggles against that defensive front, and you're going to complain about it? How does that happen? Now, if there was a crappy defensive front and he threw for 93 yards, then you could say, whoa, wow, Tua should have done better against those guys. Those guys suck. No, these guys are good. Aaron Donald's the greatest defensive player on the planet, so he struggled. And then what happens? The overreaction. Can he play? Is he good enough? Did they make the right pick? They should have gone with Justin Herbert. And then what I told everybody going into last week, I go, he'll probably throw about 2 touchdowns and around 200 and some yards. It's exactly what he did. And now it's calmed down because now they saw him with some pinpoint accurate throws. He had anticipation throws. I mean, he did all of those things. And then those people are like, there's a lot of people right now just eating crow. From the tanking to Tua to Chris Grier to the Dolphins, all of that stuff. And that's what I'm loving here. That's why I was so excited a year and a half ago when this thing started, and look where we're at now. They're 10-7 in their last 17. 10-7. Last 17.
That's a playoff team big time, bro.
That's not. Of course they're a playoff team. They're 5-3 in their first 8.
No, but I'm talking 10-7. 10-7. I mean, that's a year.
But you're pacing 10-6 is what I'm saying.
That's awesome, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Wow. You're pacing 10-6.
We are
realize you win this week, you're 6-3. Okay?
What a concept.
Just like, wow. 0-7 last year, you're 6-3 now? So, to me, that's the beautiful part about everything developing now for the Dolphins, is that everybody's catching up to us on this show. I'm not telling you that everybody's like that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people that are eating crow, and they're figuring out now that, okay, wait a minute, dude. I've been wrong. This is a different Dolphins team. Yo, I've been wrong. They got a good GM. Yo, I've been wrong. Brian Flores can coach. Yo, I've been wrong. Tua can play. I mean, the only thing you could ever question about Tua is his durability. It's not whether he can play. We talked about that all throughout the year going into the draft. I never questioned whether he can play. The only thing I question to this day still is durability. That's the only thing that I worry about with the kid. That's it. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. Even when he struggled with the Rams and then all these things came out, maybe this is too much for him. And, he only played with first-rounders and, all this kind of crap. It's ridiculous.
You did the rundown of the Rams and their defense against quarterbacks, and the only one that had a decent game was Dak Prescott.
No, and Josh Allen also.
Josh, yes.
Yeah, but again.
But Josh was playing out of his head those first 4 games.
My point was, it was normal that in half the games against the Rams, the QB struggled.
More than that, 4 out of 6.
Yeah,
they were absolutely destroying the offense.
Right, exactly. So you got to be objective about some of these things. We're objective when they're terrible, and we're going to be objective now when they're good. You
didn't mention during the Arizona game some nice runs.
Yes.
Learning how to slide. The kid didn't take any hits.
Yep.
Threw away the ball. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a more perfect game for a guy playing in his second complete game.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. Ray's liking my Rush shirt. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I noticed you're color coordinated there. Very nice with the yellow matchup with the Batman and the Rush. You did good. Or was that the white?
This is my second mask of the day. I had an American flag on, a black gray one, that black gray type.
The Trump one?
I
think
it's not Trump. It's just black and gray. It's like that.
Okay.
Like that camouflage type of thing. Because usually, since it's all day, I switch masks.
Right. Yes.
Halfway through the day. Cause
you have enough masks to be able to do that.
Yes.
Sir?
Yes. Exactly. I do have enough masks. Thank the Lord. So I can stay safe. Because it's kind of gross to wear the same mask all day. I'm sorry if some of you you end up doing it. That's fine, or some. But for me, I got to change masks, man. After a while, I'm like, let me change the mask and let me get it going.
Has nothing to do with looking cool or anything like that and wanting to show off your mask.
All my masks are cool.
And I have many cool masks because of you,
but that was the idea.
Yeah.
If you're going to wear a mask, then I'm going to wear something that is me. And this is me.
With all these, do you even touch your N99 at all anymore?
Yeah, I do. Well, if I got to go to the
grocery store or something, okay.
If I'm working, I wear these.
Right.
But if I'm not working and I have to go into some place or something,
I will wear
the thick mask.
Right.
But in this, we're never really around people or anything like that.
Not.
It's not really where we have, we're
that's
not in any
That's one of
groups.
the reasons why it's been safe for us, because we are kind of isolated and off, and once in a while when somebody, but they know to keep their distance, we're pretty safe.
I mean, it would take some dude to spittle, 47 yards away from this place, and then it's going to travel all over and then sneak in here. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, it's just, that's crazy. It's not going to happen. So that's the good thing about all of this, that, we kind of keep our distance. Big O, I am salivating on the defensive game plan Flores is going to throw at Herbert. I can't wait. NorCal says, I've got one phone logged in here and another to Onside Radio through the new app. I support everything Big O, Fins Up, Orlando, and all your crew. Thank you. Thank you, NorCal. You are a good friend, and you have been an amazing supporter of my career, man. I can't thank you enough, my friend. Alexa V says, these games get me so hyped. They should, Alexa. You know, it's one of those things, Alexa, you and I are cut from the same cloth in that sense, because I'm like that too now. Football's fun again, right? It was torturous every year up until last year, okay? Because for me, it wasn't, even 0-3, 0-5, wasn't torturous for me, because I kind of could see the progress in the building, and we walked all through it. Those of you that have been with me, we walked even through all that hell. But before Chris Greer took over and did the organizational enema, you got to admit, for 20 years, it was scary, Dolphin weekends, because you just didn't know what disaster was next. And that's what scared you. Like, you knew you didn't have confidence. You didn't have confidence in the ownership. You didn't have confidence in the GM. You didn't have confidence in the head coach. You didn't have a quarterback. You didn't have a team. And so we were just fans, and we're just hoping for the best. But it's not because we're skillfully better, because we're structurally better, because we have more intelligence than everybody else, because we have a better front office than you, because we have a better coach than you. No, it's just because the sun shined on a dog's ass that day, and we won. That's it. And I always tell people the 11-5 and Wildcat and all of that, and I tell people all the time, I always tell them this. I go, and what did that mean? What did we build on? What did we learn from that? How did we get better after that? We didn't, because it was a fluke year. It meant nothing. It was just one of those things that went our way for a couple of games. We played a bunch of quarterbacks, a bunch of teams that didn't have quarterbacks that year. It was like the stars aligned, and we won 11 games. Adam Gase, when he won 10, what did we do? Nothing. We did nothing. We built nothing on it. That's my point. Now, football's fun. Now we know we got a shot every week against anybody, okay? Maybe not Kansas City, but against almost everybody else, okay? But pretty much, I like the Dolphins' chances against almost anybody. Yeah, with Tua and everything. Why? I got a front office. I got a head coach. I got a young quarterback. I got a team. It's a difference. You go 0-7, you go 5-4, now you're 5-3. And you're 10-7 in your last 17. It's all a trajectory. So it's fun because there's, you can see it right in front of you developing. And that's been the problem with Dolphin football for so many years. It wasn't fun. It was one of those where, you see Alexa say, I get hyped for these games. You weren't hyped. You were just happy because it's Dolphin football, but you were nervous as hell. You were afraid of what disaster was next. That's basically what you were saying with Dolphin football.
Are you going to show up for the game?
Right.
I mean, literally.
Right.
You know what I noticed, though, that's really cool? When you have a dog in the playoff race, you look and see what's Buffalo doing, what's Tennessee. I noticed that because during the Arizona game. I'm watching it, and it's like, well, it's not even that. It's where are we falling in the playoff race? Are we going to maybe slide up and be one of the higher wild card teams and get a game to host?
Right.
Stuff like that. It's so weird. We're not used to those games mattering other than, okay, who's going to be in the playoffs and who do we get to watch? No, it matters. What's going on with Buffalo? Do we have a shot at the division? It was so cool. I mean, I'm sitting there,
now
man, when was the last time we were watching scoreboard like that?
We can measure ourselves to somebody else.
Yes.
And that's what I like. That's the cool part. We can measure ourselves to somebody else.
Walking away from now, the NFC West,
and now,
3-1.
And we can do it with sanity. Because, before it's like 5 years ago, you're trying to, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? You're ridiculous.
Oh, when we played Pittsburgh and got waxed.
Whatever, yeah, you just think you're there. You're not there. You're nowhere near there. And that's why so many Dolphins over the last 20 years got really, really pissed with me. because I was
You're
honest
too
with them.
much of a realist.
Yeah. Now I'm too much of a homer now. Now because I'm too positive about the Dolphins, now I'm a homer now. That's what I get on Twitter now. Now I get the people that tell me, oh, I don't know what happened to you.
So they don't let you play in the gray. You're either in the white or the black. You're on the left or right.
I always laugh, and it's like, what happened to me? Dude, I'm the same person. I'm just going to tell you when it sucks or when it's good, bro. What's wrong with you? Nothing happened to me, okay? And you know, what would have been crazy is if I'm telling you that I like everything they're doing and everything's gone the other way, which it's not. Everything's going that way to everything that we've talked about.
The first two games last year, we saw what it was, 100 to 0.
Yep.
The first two games this year, we were finding our way. Obviously, the Buffalo, New England back-to-back weekends. Since the first, kind of like last year, those first two games, you take it off the pitcher.
Yep.
Man, we're in every game.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And you're talking a lot of playoff teams, bro. It isn't slouches.
No.
That's the other thing.
I'm with you. Big O, let's see. It's a tradition for people to hate on South Florida. They hate us because they ain't us. Facts. That's what Ian from Brooklyn says. Tremolio says, ¿Cómo están? Muy bueno, gente. Let's see. What else do we have here? Rosendo. Good afternoon, Big O. I hope everybody is doing good on this soggy South Florida weather. Yeah, too much rain, bro. Enough rain. People have too many floods. Raging Dolphin Maniac. Oh, I am thoroughly impressed with Tua's accuracy and release. That guy's a surgeon with a football. But Raging, that's what you saw in Oakland, in Alabama. That's what he was in Alabama. Deadly accurate. The thing is, what people can't look at is, oh, no, he played with a bunch of first-rounders. That's such a lazy take, right? Because Ken Dorsey played with a bunch of first-rounders too, and so did Steve Walsh. Didn't make them great NFL quarterbacks, okay? Vinny Testaverde had some big-time players around him, and somehow or another, there you go.
Classic MTV logo hat, bro.
And yet somehow found a way to choke out all this stuff. You know what I mean? Tua's a baller, bro. Tua is a baller. We've talked about it a couple times this week. The pass he threw to Devontae on the right hash mark, and you have to look at that pass. The pass was thrown before he makes the break to turn back on the ball. And then, not only that, he anticipates Patrick Peterson, coming up behind Devontae. So he sees that Peterson will end up on the left, on Devontae's right side to him. So he puts it on the left side. You need to go back and watch that throw. Watch when he releases that throw. Okay? And to have the anticipatory nature from that's something that you'll never get from Tannehill. Because that's not in his game. It's not in his tool shed, in his box, in his mechanics, whatever you want to call it. Felix and Felix the cat and his bag of tricks, that's in his tricks. Ryan doesn't have those tricks. A lot of quarterbacks don't have those tricks. Lamar Jackson could never make that throw. He can't make that throw in his dreams. Okay? He is a surgeon. Okay? No doubt about it. But you saw that in Alabama.
Speaking of the Ravens passing game, 31st in the league, and 68 and 70% of their passes are in the middle of the field.
Oh, Ravens?
And it's like they know where they're going.
Right.
It's really bad.
Lamar was on with Rich Eisen and was complaining about that.
Yes.
And
yes.
and it's kid, look in the mirror. It's you. You're
your
limited.
Limitations.
It's your limitations that they have to call a remedial offense, and so you can only throw a couple of routes, and you can't really play the quarterback position. You're an athlete. And so, like I said today on Onside, people need to apologize to Bill Polian. He was wrong about one thing. Okay? Lamar's not a receiver. He's a running back.
8 out of 10 times they run on first down. There's 8 in the box. They're the worst run team on first down.
They figured it out.
You ready, though?
Defenses are smart. The coordinators are smart. They're going to go, okay, this kid's getting away with these 3 throws. Let's take it away, and he's got nothing else.
To compound it, second and third down, the second best rushing team in the NFL.
Yeah, they're lucky.
Crazy.
They're lucky they have a defense and a running game. Because if they didn't, they would not be in the mix at all. But again, they'll play elite teams and they'll play elite quarterbacks, and they're going to lose because those elite quarterbacks will do their job and he won't be able to match it. Dennis Akers says, hell yeah, Big O. I'm really enjoying on Onside Radio, but I must say it's a little bit weird without Bill, but love both shows. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the love. Appreciate that, man.
There you go. Josh Ritter, for the first time in a long time, I expect the team to win instead of hoping. That's what I'm talking about, Josh. That's the difference now watching the Dolphins. Yeah. The Heat could have won the championship, still not as hyped for the Finns to finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, the Heat got injured. That's what screwed them. Ohio John says, fun to see Tua start off 2-0 versus young QBs. And Murray have gone down, and Herbert is next. After that, it's Locke, Darnold, Burrow, and Mahomes. There we go. Let's see. Uber Beaner says, Big O, great job predicting Tua's stats last game. Got lucky. Those are the kind of predictions you don't really hit on. Win-loss might be a little easier. But to nail somebody's numbers, that's kind of crazy. That's just one of those, again, at least for the next 5 or 10 years. Bill Dent says, I saw Rush at the Fabulous Forum, the 2112 tour. The warm-up band, Ted Nugent. Oh, they were the warm-up band for Ted Nugent. Okay.
Was that the original 2112 or the one that we saw that was 97, I think?
No. Then Ted Nugent would be opening up.
I was going to, you know what? I was going to say, you got to see Ted in front of 21.
At that time, Ted was bigger than Rush. That makes sense. At that time.
The Wango Zitango.
Oh, my God. Come on, dude. That was
Cat Scratch Fever.
Yeah. Rush had not hit Tom Sawyer and gone.
And we all thought this is probably back when they thought Ted was on drugs and didn't realize that, his condition is El Natural.
Yeah, he's just normally crazy. Definitely. Let's see. Let's go over the checklist. Rush shirt, check. Rush lunchbox, check. Oh, that's right. Bill trying to decide if he should wear his Bears, Rams, KC, Dolphins shirt, check. There you go. Nice one, Dougie Fresh. I like it.
Thanks a lot, Doug.
I like it. Alexa says we're going to dismantle the Chargers. Let's see. If we make it to the playoffs, I hope we play the Steelers because we match up well against them. We'll be able to sack the hell out of Fat Ben. Well, Ben's not as fat, okay? Still might be a sexual offender, but he's not fat. Let's see, only a taste. Wait till we get the full entree. Is what Miami Kid Jay says. I rewatched the Dolphins-Cardinals game yesterday, and I still had anxiety. I pray this young kid stays healthy, says Rosendo, and not hold on to the ball too long, and hopefully he can learn to slide right. If he plays like that, he can take us far to the promised land. I'm with you there. Thank you. And Antonio Matos also loves my Rush shirt. And Airman 241 says, thank you for the honesty on the Dolphins. Thank you. I saw this. I bought this Rush shirt. It was on Amazon. It's not a concert shirt.
I was going to say there's nothing on the back. You know how I am about the dates. You bought it at Barefoot Mailman or Spencer's.
No, I bought it at Amazon.
Okay.
I saw it and I loved it, man, because I loved the colors of it and everything. And Lord knows I have plenty of Rush real concert shirts, but I don't mind getting a regular rock shirt. That's fine with me. I saw it and the colors. I said, I got to get it, dude.
Were you already over in the double digits on Rush, or did this shirt put you over the top? Because I got to figure.
I'm pretty close to about 10 shirts on Rush.
I would say.
Yeah, I probably have pretty close to 10. I don't know exactly the number, but yeah, it's nothing like Greta and Iron Maiden and U2. I think between Greta, Iron Maiden, and U2, I probably have about 130 shirts.
Only?
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, between those three bands, there's about 130 of them.
Well, easy. Greta's in the 20s already.
No. Greta's in the 40s, almost 50.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know how ridiculous? I mean, you could open up a Greta store, bro.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
That is.
And so is U2, and so is Iron Maiden.
Since we're talking to me, did you get a chance?
They're all. Now, the difference is most of the Greta shirts are not concert shirts.
No, but dude,
like 95% of them are not concert shirts,
but bro,
or 90.
Some of the non-concert Gretas
they're amazing.
They're amazing. Freaking Gretas you got.
Now, 99% of the Iron Maiden and the U2s are all concert shirts.
The Greta you wore to Miami, that's the red and gray and black one that's got the thing that wraps around the side and continues in the back.
Yeah.
That Greta is just bad, bro.
Yeah. I have too many of those shirts.
Did you get a chance to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, by the way?
Oh, the show? No, I have not.
You have not?
No, I'm going to watch it this weekend.
They did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. I'll probably watch it on Saturday. I'll probably watch the Canes and then watch the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at night.
Give nothing away, but considering not being together and everything, dude, they did a pretty cool job with the way they did it.
Who?
The way the production was.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
The introduction.
Oh, because it was virtual all over the place?
Everybody.
There was
recorded,
no stage?
No stage.
Wow.
Which, obviously, dude, some of the coolest get-togethers are at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when you get the one with
problem is you have
with Prince. That one's an all-timer.
You have to bring roadies and engineers. You have to bring stage people. And so it just becomes a cluster, you know what, and there's so many people that you can get people polluted so easily. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but we lost 1,479 Americans yesterday. We lost 1,465 the day before. That's 2,944 deaths in the last 2 days. We had 142,906 cases yesterday, 142,212 on Tuesday. That's a total of 285,115 cases, nearly 300,000 COVID cases in the last 2 days.
Yeah, okay. There wasn't that one day that it was 165.
Yeah,
and in the last few days.
And what I love about all of this is they just keep lying to you about the death rate and all that, and all it does is go up. Oh no, less people are dying. No, dude, more people are dying. You know, it's just ridiculous how they lie to you, and they tell you that this is not going away. It's gotten worse and worse and worse because you have plenty of people walking around without a damn mask.
A lot of hospitals grabbing the refrigerated containers and going back to that as the holding the bodies
we're headed,
on the side of the building, bro.
We're headed for monster close downs again. We're headed for it again because we don't pay attention to this. We don't care. We just, whatever.
Ignorance is bliss, bro.
1,500 Americans each day the last 2 days. Are you kidding me, dude? And where's it at now? Let me check it now. I'll tell you right now where it's at. I usually can pull up the numbers quickly because I have I always have the.
Your fingers have the skills, or you've got the app sitting in and waiting.
Yeah, I have. Well, it's the page, not the app, but the page. We're at 83,924 cases already, 533 dead.
And that goes off at 2:47 at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, well, it might be 8 now because we went back 1 hour, so it might be 8 o'clock. But still, it'll surpass 1,000 again. Is what will end up happening.
And we'll have another day of over 100,000, which I think makes almost a week of it straight.
I don't even know if Biden will be any good or not. I don't really have a ton of hope there. But I think what everybody ended up voting why he got in, because they think he'll tackle this COVID thing better. I think that's really all they wanted for him. And if Trump would have actually taken it serious, he would have easily won re-election, easily. But he
considering
did the
he got 70 million, yeah.
No, he easily would have won re-election.
Yes, I agree.
I believe he lost it all on COVID, because I don't believe people are convinced that Biden is this incredible president. I think they just think he'll take the COVID thing seriously, and then they can eliminate it so we can all get our lives back.
It would help if the transition team was allowed to get in there and actually start doing some stuff with this.
That's not going to happen with that guy.
You're right about that, brother.
That's not going to happen with that guy. Do you think the Chargers' close losses are a result of being a young team or Anthony Lynn being outcoached in clutch moments? No, I don't think their team is just not that good anymore, Ohio John. They lost a lot of people, especially on defense. They've lost several people, and they're just not the same defense anymore. That's the problem with them. Their secondary is a real problem, a real issue. I think Tua is going to be able to take advantage of that. So yeah, it's not Justin. It's more about their defense being inconsistent, and their running game is also not impactful. So if Miami can kind of control the running game, which I think they will, and if they can pass the ball, which I think they will be able to, they're not really great at running the ball. I think they'll be able to win this game. But I don't think it's about Anthony Lynn being outcoached. I just think that Anthony Lynn has kind of lost some talent, and he doesn't have the same team anymore. You know, the amazing part for Anthony is that the young kid has made a nice transition. Okay, that's really the key there, is that kid's made a really nice transition, and in the process has made Mario Cristobal look really bad. I gotta say, because
that's probably the biggest indictment, right?
Yeah,
we didn't really get to see what this kid. Look what he's doing on Sunday in the pros.
Yeah, this is not good for. This is not a good look for Mario. And if you're a high level quarterback,
A recruit, yeah.
you're thinking, wow, Justin's kicking ass. Why wasn't he airing it out in Oregon? Why is he running so much and all that? And I don't, man, maybe he thought he didn't have the receivers in the offense to do it or whatever, but this is not a good look for Mario. And I know he's a good coach. Hell, I wish he was coaching the Canes. Don't get me wrong here, but it's not a good look for him, man, because the way Herbert was framed and the way he played is nothing like what he's playing like now.
Training wheels.
Not even close.
Right? Training wheels on a motorcycle. I mean, it's a total different guy.
Yep. Josh Ritter says, I think Herbert's really going to struggle with zero blitz fronts. Lots of sacks coming Sunday. I hope so. I'm with you. I am fixing to go and change into my Guns N' Roses shirt. There you go. There you go. That's what you got. Yeah, life should be lived in a concert shirt. That's all. I'm just saying. It's just the way it is.
Speaking of which,
life is always better in a concert shirt.
I saw a video on YouTube that you can catch where Angus Young joins on stage GNR. Pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, check it out.
All right.
Guns N' Roses joined by Angus Young on stage.
Hey, are you still going to make shirts for the show? Maybe Dolphin style? I know right now you have a lot going on, brother. Yes, I am. I think next week somebody comes back. They were gone for a couple weeks, and so I couldn't do, I'm not the one in charge of all that kind of, making all that stuff. So, yeah, I have somebody actually that is designing all of that stuff, and we're going to add that page to our website at BigORadioshow.com, and we'll tell you about it. We'll share the link once we have it, and you guys can buy the shirts. And we'll eventually add Onside, too, to the Onside website also. So I like that, too. I think that's going to be a lot of fun also.
Right now, with everything you got going on, do you know which end's up and which end is down? Do you?
No.
He said 315.
Okay, good.
Yep, just to give you a heads up.
All right,
You don't know which end is up and which end. Are you in the middle?
I mean, there are moments.
Are you treading water?
There are moments that I feel like that, but overall it's been pretty, crazy. But it's good crazy. It's good pressure. You know what I mean? It's fun pressure. What I'm facing. There are some things that are out of my control. There are some things that issues that I run into that I was actually just putting out a fire before I got on the air. Things like that I don't want to have to deal with. But
nice extinguishing job by you, by the way.
Those are things that you end up, running into when you do this thing. But it's been a lot of fun.
You know what? To tread water, I'm thinking Martin Short. Remember in the SNL long time ago, 70s, when he's got the water wings?
Yeah.
Synchronized swimming. Why don't you get some water wings, bro? You can tread water a little better.
Certainly need it, man. Certainly need it. Chicago mayor just banned having family over during lockdown in Chicago. LOL, Democratic communists. Tremolio, it's not a Democratic thing. You're making it an issue, bro, of politics. It's health. You shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I don't hang around. Tremolio, I'm sorry, dude. I don't hang around my mother-in-law. Haven't seen her for months. How do you know? What do you think about that, dude? And I don't want to see her. I don't want to be anywhere near her. I don't have it, but God forbid, bro. I get it accidentally. I touched something I wasn't, rubbed my eye, picked my nose, whatever, picked my ear, and I ended up getting corona or whatever, and then I pass it on to the old lady. No, dude, I'm sorry. You got it, Tremolo. You got to get past that, bro. You got to drop that. That's why we're in this mess. because it's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democratic thing. It's either responsible or irresponsible. And it's irresponsible to be meeting with family nowadays. The only family you should be with is the one you live with. Those are the people you should be with. But your cousins that live in Wachete, or your aunt that lives in Hollywood, or she lives in Ocala, don't be dealing with her. I'm sorry, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. It's not the end of the world that you don't get to go to South Beach and party. It's not the end of the world that you don't get to go to a concert. It's not the end of the world that you don't have a family reunion. It's not the end of the world. Eventually, if we all stay in our places, if we all try to kill this virus down, then we can all go out and have fun. And we can meet up with our aunts, and we can go to restaurants. And those of you that love to go clubbing and you got to go partying, you can go do all of that, okay? And I can then go to concerts finally again. But for now, if I can stay away from concerts and I can stay away from my family members, I think everybody else can too. I don't think it's that hard. I don't think it's this taxing thing that oh my God, it's disrespectful, it's un-American, it's taking away our rights. No, it's not, dude. We're trying to kill off a pandemic before it kills us. That's what we're trying to do. To make it a political thing is just crazy.
The thing that's really bad is we knew there was going to be an explosion with this in the winter. Mm-hmm. We're not even there, bro. It's not wintertime yet.
It's already
and this thing is exploded.
No, it is. It's just not for us.
Well,
you want to go hang out in Wisconsin, dude?
No. It's fall. It's still fall.
It's freezing up there, bro.
Well, not for them. 20, 30 every day.
It's free. That makes your ass go inside,
but
bro.
They've had some 50, 60s.
Bill,
they don't have that in winter.
It's winter already for them. Not for us, but for them, they're stuck inside now. They're not doing things outside anymore, Bill.
Not a lot, but
that's why it's spreading.
But there have been a couple of 60 days. But they don't get that in the wintertime. It's 20, 30 degrees at the most.
But the point is, winter has arrived for them. That's why they're all, Michigan and all these places are all exploding. The Dakotas, they're all exploding because they no longer can do things outside anymore. It's too damn cold to be outside. So they're all inside, and now it's spreading like crazy because it spreads more inside than it does outside.
The enclosed environment.
And we have an opportunity. We could always go outside, except for the damn rain now lately. But outside of the rain, in December, we're going to be able to be outside. They can't be. And that's why.
Well, that's when you can be outside because you're not melting.
That's why it's going to explode now in the winter because and the flu is going to help spread it. And it's also going to what's that called? Morph it into other things too now, and they'll develop other viruses out of it. Wish I could say that mine lives with us for the moment. Let's see. Have you heard about Deontay Wilder's new excuse for losing to Tyson Fury? I have not, Matthew Walker. I have not kept up with that. I mean, it's at this point, listening to Deontay Wilder is so irresponsible. You know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, we know why you lost. You're limited. It snowed at my house. It's winter. Gas mask up, NorCal. See? It's winter, bro. Up north, it's winter, bro. It's cold as hell in those places. Cold as hell in those places, dude. We're at Toyota of Hollywood, by the way. Come on out here and join us at 1841 North State Road 7. Come on by and say hi. Remember, if you mention my name, you will get an extra $1,000 on your trade-in. So if you're looking to buy or lease a vehicle, tell them that Big O sent you. Tell them that Big O says, I get an extra $1,000 on my trade-in, and they will take care of you. I promise you, here at 1841 North State Road 7. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll come back on the other side. Get ready to rock and roll right here on the Big O Show.
45 fun-filled minutes so far.
Hey, it's Big
Big O for all of your CBD, THC, or hookah needs. You got to get on down to VSS West Pines at 12397 Pembroke Road. Yes, they have got legal THC. You got to check it out. And they've got, of course, when it comes to CBD, flower, tinctures, edibles, for all kinds of reasons, whether it's pain, stress, anxiety, you name it. And don't forget, when you mention my name, you'll get 20% off. Tell the boys out there that I told you to get on down to VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road, and call them 954-613-3367. Legal THC, CBD, all of your hookah needs. You go to VSS West Pines.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction. Listen, I've been telling you about Eric for a long time now. Custom home builder for additions, home remodeling. We're not talking about a handyman. Maybe you want to redo that man cave. We're not going to a lot of live sporting events. So you want to improve that experience in your man cave? Call them 305-433-4843. Tell them that Big O sent you and go to the Instagram page. You can see the before and after there. You'll be impressed. EJD_construction. Call them 305-433-4843 or go to the website ejdconstruction.com.
America's premium sports sedan is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. TLX $259 a month, $259 at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
All right, we ready. We rocking out here at Toyota of Hollywood, the fantastic dealership. They just know how to treat you out here, man. Great people. Steve Ostrov is out there. I see Tony Stampone. And, of course, Herbie Lopez. Come on out. Say hi to them. They will take care of you. Just a great, great dealership out here at 1841 North State Road 7. Take it from somebody that drives a Camry every day. Love my Camry. I've had 3 Toyotas in my lifetime, actually. So I've had 4. No, 3. It's 3. The Corolla, the Camry Hybrid, and this Camry XSE. I think so. Yeah.
The convertible that you had.
No, that was a Cabriolet.
When you had, what was it, Bandit, or Tampa, the raccoon you had?
Yeah, I had a raccoon named Tampa. Yeah, I had a raccoon named Tampa. Because we got him in Tampa. What was it? I think it's only 3 I've had. But no, anyway, all been great cars. And listen, man, you take care of these cars nowadays, you will be fine, man. You will be fine. If you want to get in on the program, of course, you can reach out to us on the text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, you can reach out to us on Twitter also at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that is, my friends, a 24-hour talk show, which we love. And you can follow us there at Big O Show as always. Thank you for subscribing and supporting the show. Let's see, what do we have here? A couple of these. Jesse in Minneapolis is sending in one late. Mal from Virginia says, Orlando, it is time to put to rest any questioning any decisions Brian Flores makes. It's obvious he knows what he's effing doing. I would have to agree with that, man. Hard to argue with that point there. Let me see, what else do we have here on the text line. Big O, I'm over so much with this election. I told you this June, whoever's the next president, we're all going to be screwed the next 4 years. If it's Trump and Biden, G from Pennsylvania, I would agree with that. We haven't voted in a good president forever. Break. Ain't nobody going to fix all of our issues. I'm telling you, Biden only won because people look at him and they say, well, he'll be somewhat more responsible with the virus. That's it. Because the virus is what's driving everybody crazy. It's limiting people. It killed businesses. It's killed careers. It's brutal, dude. It's taken such a toll on the world, period. I mean, it's exploding again in Europe. People are ignorant about this all over the world. It's not just Americans. Okay? Again, it's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's not an independent thing. It's just a responsible thing. That's all. We got to be a little bit more responsible with it. Herman says, Big O, I live in Honduras, so I sent a text to the onside text line. Have you gotten them? Just wondering if my phone company is doing their job. Send one now. Do me a favor, because I don't know which. And put your name, Herman. Put Herman on it. I have the text line up right now for onside. So send it, 844-416-8123. Send it now, Herman. Let me see if you're because I read a bunch of them today myself. So I'm getting texts all over the place. Mike says, who thinks Tannehill takes a sack and Fitzpatrick throws a pick in the situation where Tua ran for the first down? It's a good point. Romeo Garcia says, good afternoon, Big O and Bill. Glad to see you back again. Thank you, Romeo. It is nice to be back. Francisco Verdugo says, Mr. O, I don't like these, but since Godchow went down, the D-line has improved. Okay. Raekwon Davis is, another one of those picks. Hopefully he'll turn into a player. Joe Biden equals George W. Bush with higher taxes. Well, wait, hold on a second, Mike. He says over 400,000. Oh, there you go. Can you hear me, Julius 305? Julius 305 sent it in. But Dono is on over at onside, so we're kind of confusing the crap out of Donald because he's probably going to say that now in the air. So there you go. But you got to send. I haven't seen one, by the way, yet. Okay, Herman. So if you're sending one, I have not seen it yet. So maybe your phone company is not doing the job. So let's get on that phone company. Let's see, what else do we have here? Big O, what a refreshment watching your show. You are always on target about the Dolphins, whether good or bad. Nonetheless, the Dolphins is transcending. Maverick Bahamas. Thank you, Maverick Bahamas. Appreciate you as always for keeping it locked here. I agree on why many voted for Biden. My reason was the same. Yeah, it's all COVID, dude. He won it only because of COVID. Trump easily wins. Easily wins if it's not for COVID. He should have taken it serious. Biden's track record with virus doesn't mean anything. 62 million got infected with much less contagious virus 64 years ago with Biden and Obama in charge. But 62 million is not a lot infected. It's how many die. Okay? That's the difference. You're gonna get millions infected with this thing, and it's way more contagious. But it's too late now. Remember, none of this can be blamed on Biden. So let's don't start with that now. Okay? This is all on the last president that's going on. Everything that's going on is on this president. Don't blame Biden for any of this. It's nothing to do with him. Okay? I'm not here to defend that guy in any way, shape, or form. But I'm just saying, let's be, you know, if you're going to be objective, all right? Because I know some of you out there, you're such political zombies that, you know, you're hardcore Democrat, you're hardcore Republican, you won't come off of it and all that crap. You know, you know, this has nothing to do with Biden right now. He has not taken over. Okay? So let's get this straight. Okay? So don't blame somebody for something they have nothing to do with it right now. This is all on the guy that's there. And that guy is going out because of this. You know? So let's see what Biden does when he does take over. Then I can judge him. But for now, it's all on the orange men. Good listening, Big O. Lunchtime is over. Back to work. Boss man is a Niners fan. Gotta go. Oh, he's having a bad year. Let's see. What else we got? Mike says, John Rouse, you're correct. Biden is just incapable of dealing with the invisible enemy as Trump. Well, you already know that Trump's incapable, so you might as well try somebody else. Those are the facts, right? Right? Any of you out there, right? That Trump is incapable, right? Do you have the balls to admit it? Just want to make sure. Let's make sure. John Rouse, Mike, all of you out there commenting, right? I think we can all agree that Trump is incapable, correct? That's been proven, right? Virus is raging again, never was calmed down. So we know he's incapable, so somebody else has got to try now. That's it. Those are the facts. So why are you going to keep somebody incapable in place? So there you go. Let's just say it the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's have some cojones. All right? Let's not play the politics game and play the sides and all that. All right? So that dude is incapable, period. I mean, he's incapable of feelings. He's incapable of understanding. He's incapable of a lot of things. But he's also incapable of obviously handling a virus. So let's, you know, nothing's on the new administration. Wait till they actually take over, and then you can start to judge them a couple months down the line to see what they do. But for now, it's all on to do with the orange hair, who hides and cowers for the last couple days. It's amazing. Gutless. Acts like a tough guy, far from being a tough guy. That's the also amazing part about that dude. Okay? Biggest phony in the world. But there you go. You had your chance, bro. You would have handled the virus. You would have 4 more years. Guaranteed. He would have gotten 4 more years. Money in the bank. He barely beat a liar in Hillary, and now he's losing to the guy that he called Sleepy Joe the entire time. And he can thank himself for it. Well, he won't blame himself because he doesn't have the balls to blame himself and take responsibility. But it is what it is. Anyway, enough of that crap. We got Colts Titans tonight, by the way. Titans are, well, wait a minute. I should not say favored by 1.5. It was picking the last time I checked, and then it was 1 point. I mean, it's fluctuated. Now it's back to 1 point. Tennessee -1 for tonight. The over and under is 48.5. I like the Titans in this one. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. No, wait a minute. This has gone from Titans -1.5 to picking to now the Colts are favored by 1. What am I missing here? Wait a minute. What the hell is going on here now? I don't see anybody Corey Davis plans to play. Okay, fine. I disagree with that. You know what? I'm going to go Tennessee +1. Okay? That's my call. I'm going to go Tennessee +1 tonight. The over and under is 48.5. If anything, I would slightly lean to the over on that one because there's going to be a lot of points in this game. You can score on Tennessee. Their defense isn't impeccable. They got a solid defense, but not a great defense. At least, well, they're not playing great right now. Let's just call it that way at least. They got some talent, but they are not playing up to the level that we thought they could be on defense. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, their defense is slipped, but that kid Moore,
oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
He is legit.
Yes, no doubt. Definitely legit. NorCal says Tannehill shows up tonight. Well, as long as Derek shows up, that's definitely what they need. That's the guy that will be, get it going. Okay. Let's see. Marco kidding, right? 230K and counting dead, 100K infected. New Zealand and other countries are virus-free and living life. Yeah, no, but they take it serious in those kind of places. We don't. Certain places have taken it serious, and they can have a little bit of a life. We don't take it. Now, New Zealand also is an island. They have a way of locking everything down, and then they can keep everybody off, knock out the virus, and then move on in life. So it's a different thing for them than us, because they can't control their borders the way we can. I mean, they can control the borders the way, unlike us. There's no way we can do the same thing. But listen, man, it's just about being responsible. What else do we have here? Oh, wanted to get a little bit into this on, did you guys hear about the James Harden and Russell Westbrook thing that they want out of Houston now because Daryl Morey's gone to Philadelphia? So some basketball outlet there, whatever, man, they put out some report that Miami could be interested also in Russell Westbrook, who Russell Westbrook is interested in coming to Miami. Let me tell you something. First of all, I know, listen, Riley and company had a brain fart for a couple of years with Whiteside and James Johnson, and they're not above the law in making mistakes, okay? They are allowed to make mistakes like everybody else. Plenty of people make mistakes. But there's no way they make this mistake because Russell Westbrook does not fit what they do here. James Harden does not fit what they do here. When they lose certain games, one of the key things that Spo talks about is lack of ball movement. And can you imagine with a James Harden that you're holding the ball till the last couple of seconds and everybody's just standing around? There's no way that happens. There's no way that you bring James Harden on and then ends up neutering several players. This is a team that does not mind that Goran Dragic is the leading scorer tonight. Tomorrow night it's Bam. The next night it's Jimmy Butler. The next night it's Tyler Hero. There's no way they're going to stand around and wait for James Harden to make a play every single time down court and wait till the last 3 seconds so maybe one of the shooters gets the ball because James couldn't break it down and get the clean shot, so he passes it off. That offense is not going to fly here. And let me add a caveat to all of this. I don't believe James Harden is willing to play the kind of offense that they play here in Miami and play with the team where he would have to play off the ball a lot too. This is a guy that wants the ball in his hand. And then the reports are that Russell Westbrook also wants to be back to having the ball in his hand more often. Then, you know what? You're headed to lesser teams. Teams that don't care, and then they'll add you because you're a name, you're a draw, and you'll help. But a championship caliber team that says that they need James Harden, I'm sorry, Miami is already a contender in its own right. And I could expect them to even get better from last year because their young guys have got to grow. Tyler Hero will grow. Bam will grow again a little bit more. Duncan hopefully builds up that body, gets a little better on defense. All of these things, I can see the Heat actually improving from within. And there is chemistry. There's trust now at this point. You would disrupt the chemistry and the trust by adding James Harden right now, by adding Russell Westbrook right now. That makes no sense whatsoever. So for anybody out there that thinks that that's a good move, I have no idea what you're smoking. Okay? None whatsoever. Can't imagine that there's pot good enough to make you think that. In fact, it's an insult to pot. Because I don't even think you smoking pot. Yeah, you got to be you got to be Pookie in the Carter. Okay? Basically to think that that's a good idea. Harden's a fantastic player, dude. stupendous. I mean, his game is amazing, but it's also demanding, and it demands attention. It demands time with the ball. It does not really do enough to open up the rest of the game and the rest of the team, and it's almost like you're subservient to anything he's doing on the court, and it's everything him first, and then everything else is second. And that kind of pecking order is not something I think Miami is interested in whatsoever. And I think I guess it's a fun topic to throw around and argue about, but to me, I look at both guys and neither one makes sense. Okay? Russell Westbrook worse than James Harden. And they're both terrific players in their own right. They're terrific talents, all of that. I'm not going to take anything away from them. But there is no way in the world that I would want to acquire. And, it's the other thing. Harden also has, 2 years left on his deal. You would have to give up players. You read that article, and they're giving up Tyler Hero, and they're giving up Duncan. I'm like, get the hell out of here, dude. I like the way the Heat have now shaped their team. I like the philosophy now that's different than what Riley was doing. They're not depending on just free agents. They're actually going out and trying to draft and find that they next kid in line that they really like. KZ Opala or whatever the hell the kid's name is. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does now. Summer League. Well, Winter League, I guess it's called. Will they even have, they probably won't even have a Winter League again. Or Summer League in this case, but during the winter. They probably won't have it because of the damn COVID. But that's how much I've become a geek. I mean, listen, I've been watching Summer League since Hansi Ganad was part of it. So, I'm old. But it's become more of a thing now to watch it on television, and then I've been so intrigued by whatever, what young guys they have. And we're going to have a 20th pick overall if they don't trade him. And the KZ Opala or whatever the hell the kid's name is, I'm sure that's a guy that I would have seen, and I would be, focused on that stuff. But trading for Harden or Westbrook, are you out of your mind? Where does that make any sense for the Miami Heat? You're the Sacramento Kings? Go for it, dude. It's a good move for you. You know what I mean? But for the Miami Heat and their structure and their philosophy and their culture, those guys don't fit it, man. Can you imagine Harden the first 2 weeks of training camp where Spo doesn't pick up a basketball? Just think about that one. For 2 weeks, all they do is defensive drills. How do you think James Harden's gonna? I think James Harden will get Rona during those 2 weeks, and he'll miss those 2 weeks just to miss those 2 weeks. Okay? So, anyway, Florio and Sims said Justin Herbert and Chargers are going to destroy us 31-21. Well, Anthony, they'll be wrong like many others have been wrong this year. Watch a Chargers game. The coaches are working overtime to design plays to make Herbert look better than he is. No, Mike, don't do that, dude. Listen, I wasn't a Herbert guy. I heard the whole, he's a hermit. He doesn't socialize. He's an introvert. He doesn't have big games, which he didn't really have a lot of big moments in Oregon. All of that stuff I saw, and I bought into it myself. I said, hey, I don't see it there. You know what I mean? And we have seen a completely different Justin Herbert for the Chargers than the guy we saw in Oregon. Mario Cristobal clearly coached a conservative game plan for his team and for the quarterback. And I don't know if it was because of the quarterback or more because of the team, or he didn't trust the quarterback or whatever, but I'm watching the Chargers, and that kid makes some pretty special throws, dude. Okay? Mike, you're being unfair to the kid. Okay? Listen, we're all not going to be right on a lot of things. All right? And I'm glad I'm wrong because I wasn't a big Justin Herbert guy. I didn't believe in him, and he's proving me dead ass wrong right now. I gotta give him credit for playing well and making throws in key moments and big time throws. I mean, he dropped some dimes, dude. Okay, Mike, you need to take a little step back and give the kid a little bit more respect. He deserves it, man. He's had a really good year. He's played really well. I think it's like a 68% completion percentage. He's thrown 17 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So it's over 3-1 in the touchdown to turnover ratio, and he's a rookie, dude. And he has no running game because Eckler, he's had very little, and all the other guys, what is it, Justin Jackson and what's the other guy they have there? They have like 3 guys that they've used, and they're all right. Nothing special. In fact, if I'm correct, he's the one that's averaging 5 yards a carry. Okay, when he has run. Give the kid credit, man. Okay, he's well on his way to, I know, proving me wrong. If you all out there, whoever didn't believe in him and you don't want to believe in it, that's fine. That's your prerogative. I have no problem with that. But I got to give him credit, man. Got to give him a little love. He is playing well. Joseph says, no doubt. I thought he would Tannehill. Shows way more promise in a few starts. Oh yeah, no, but he's a real quarterback. Unlike Tannehill, who had to learn the position. He doesn't need to learn the position. What we didn't see was dog. And you saw a little bit of it in that last bowl game, but overall, you just didn't see enough of it in Oregon. But here, with the Chargers, he's shown it many times already. In the few games that he's played, I've been very impressed with him, man. Haven't you been impressed with Herbert? Huh?
Gotten a chance to see him probably like in 4 games, part of it or whatever. I gotta say,
he makes big time throws, dude.
Before we saw Tua, okay, it was kind of like, man, we might have missed here. Yeah. I gotta be honest.
Right, that's
but
fine.
They're not losing because of him.
No.
And the kid
not at
is
all.
Playing well.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, remember what was the biggest issue? Well, we were talking about maturity. The way he walked out of the Rose Bowl. And the way he was crying, and you could see some of the players, you had mentioned specifically, some of the guys looking at him like, hey, man, grow a set, bro. You're a man. Come on, bro. What's up with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see this?
The reporter today told me that he's just a different dude, and he leads differently. You just got to kind of get adjusted to the fact that he is a different guy. And so you've got to, kind of deal with it, you know what I mean? But it's not that he's a bad person. He's just a little different in the way he leads, his team. But there's no doubt that they've responded to him. And the kid is balling, bro.
I can remember us having this conversation.
17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a rookie. Come on, man.
And as bad as the team around him, them not winning, no positive reinforcement, any of that. And considering the fact that we were talking about the fact that he stayed home, was in his backyard, mommy and daddy in the shelter, and that's one of the reasons why we thought, the kid may be still like a kid, very immature.
Yeah.
And obviously going down south, okay?
Yeah.
It's helped him.
Airman says, I wanted Herbert, but I admit I might have been wrong on Tua. That's fine, whatever, bro. What do you think? We're all going to get it right? We're going to get him plenty wrong, too, man. Miami Kid Jay says, Big O, I still think the Dolphins made the right choice. I got no problem picking Tua. Tua's fine, man. It's just the injury stuff is the only thing I was worried about. I wasn't worried about whether he can play or not.
You keep reiterating that, and that is so much a fact. Look, if Tua plays his senior year, he is the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I don't care what Burrow does.
You're right, yes.
Because he did it from his freshman year in a national championship game. That was his first, and took it and overcame that second half. And, right out the block, this kid was a badass.
Baller.
Simple.
Baller. Matthew Walker says, I'll admit I did not see this coming from Herbert. Neither did I. He might be better than I thought. However, I'm more impressed with Burrow considering he's doing well for the Bengals. Burrow's done well considering he's taking a beating too, dude.
Wow. He is doing more with less around him. And for a rookie, I was going to say a freshman, for a rookie to be doing that in the NFL, man, it's really impressive what he's got going on up there.
He's got Hunter Henry.
Higgins kid.
I'm talking about Chargers.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hunter Henry at tight end. He's got Mike Williams. He's got the USC guy. What's his name? Damn it, bro. He's a really good receiver. Now I'm forgetting his name. Now I'm blanking. But anyway, so he's got really good receivers there with the Chargers. But he's got to figure things out, and so far he's doing it.
Like you said, a quarterback's best friend is a running game.
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. Oh, how can we forget Keenan Allen, man?
Well,
the one thing that Burrow does have
my
going
brain is fried.
The one thing that Burrow has going for him, man, he's got a nice little group of receivers. Okay?
Yeah.
The Boyd guy, Higgins, I think, and obviously Green.
Yeah.
And he is getting the ball to all three of them. I've kind of played a little carousel with fantasy with the receivers, because it's almost like one of them has 70 or 80 yards, the other guy has 50, maybe a touchdown. They're always running, but they're putting up like 8 to 10, 11 points in fantasy. Yep. Burrow's getting them the ball, man.
Yeah. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the show. The other way to reach out to us is on Twitter, and that's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, ladies and gentlemen, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. Burrow will always be a loser if he stays on the Bengals. Well, yeah, that's kind of what happens when you end up on the Bengals. Big O, that game on Sunday was like to heavyweights going back and forth. Yes, it was like two heavyweights. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it felt that way because it felt like you have, two young quarterbacks that are going to be, some of the more impactful players in this league over the next couple of years. And I think that's the really cool part about that fight between those two. And Kyler Murray, man, damn,
Tell me that kid doesn't
a pain in the ass, bro.
Tell me that kid, when he runs the ball, the way he moves, he looks like he's gliding and floating on air, bro.
He looks like a hedgehog.
Just total effortless, man.
He's a hedgehog. I'm telling you, he's a hedgehog. You don't see it, but his legs are going round and round like a hedgehog. Because that's what exactly he looks like a hedgehog playing quarterback. He is, and just the funny part, and must have been frustrating for the players, and for fans too, but it trips you out. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. It trips you out that that you would see the defenders; they were right there, close to get him, and it was just. He'd dart out.
He'd hit that next gear.
He'd make that shift, that move, and he's gone, dude. And it almost looks like when he would turn the corner and somebody had him, he would just find a way to get to that next level to the outside and turn the corner on you. And where you thought you were going to get a hit, you weren't going to get any. You didn't get anything, whatsoever. I was very worried about Kyler Murray, not because he can't play. I knew he could play. I knew he was a real quarterback. My issue with him has always been his size. And he's in his second year, and so far he's proven me wrong that he can stay away from the big hit. Because that's the thing I fear with that kid is that he doesn't have a big body. Even though he's kind of thick for a small guy, I just worry about him taking hits. And because he's not a big guy. But the problem is, dude, get a clean hit on him. You can't. Warrick Dunn played running back, and there were very few times anybody got a clean hit on Warrick Dunn. Barry Sanders, same thing. Barry Sanders played forever in the league, could have played longer, and it was rare to find where somebody clocked Barry Sanders. You might have tackled him, shoestring, whatever, but you did not really knock the hell out of Barry Sanders. Why? Because he had that gift of being able to avoid the hit. I don't know how it is. I don't know how they do it, but there's a couple of those guys, and
it's like a puncher being able to like juke a punch and go
Mayweather.
with it. You'd hit Barry,
Mayweather.
And he would go with the hit, and you wouldn't get the full like impact when you hit him. At the point of attack, he would go with it and like absorb it easier, man.
Yeah.
It was annoying. I could tell you as a Bear fan, you'd have him in the backfield pen with 3 freaking all Hall of Famers, Dent and Hampton, with Wilbur Marshall coming in on him, and the guy would get away, bro.
Yep. Let's see. NorCal says, Big O, what's your take on Murray not congratulating Tua after the Finns win? I did not notice that. I must have missed that. That's not cool. It's not cool. It's not classy. It's not the right thing to do. I think every quarterback should congratulate the other quarterback. I think every head coach should congratulate the other head coach when they win or lose. I'm with you on that. I did not know that Murray did that. That's weird.
Is there a little bit from Alabama? There's nothing from Alabama, right? I mean, he went to
it's
Oklahoma.
2 different conferences. And I know Murray's not Mr. Sociable. So the question is, does Murray do this in every game? That he just walks into the locker room. You know what I mean? Ramirez was telling us today, Fernando Ramirez, who's on the Chargers beat, he was telling us that I'm sorry, not Ramirez. It was who was telling me earlier this week, and that in Zona, Larry Fitzgerald is actually trying to teach Murray how to be more open, how to connect with teammates, and those kind of things. Something that comes naturally to Tua. So I'm wondering, NorCal, before we really go off on this, since Murray is not necessarily a sociable dude, not even with his own teammates.
An introvert.
Yeah, does he do that in every game? Is the question I have. I have to ask you that because I'm not sure right now, NorCal.
The only thing that bothers me,
but this is not sociable with his teammates.
No, but
his teammates.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
I know, but it's the quarterback. He's not really sociable with the team. No, you're 1,000%.
It just looks bad, you know.
You're 1,000% right. But if he's normally like that with everybody, then you can't just take it out on that
There's
situation.
nothing like special with Tua.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If he normally doesn't shake hands, I don't know. He doesn't. If he's not normally sociable, and he's got to be taught that now. That's what.
Yeah, because that's something that's not going to go away, man.
Right? No, of course not. Of course not. That's why.
And it'll compound and become even more of an issue and thrown in his face constantly.
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't know. You know, so that's where I would go with you, NorCal. Is what is he normally like? Does he normally shake every quarterback's hand, and then he just didn't this time, or is that something he normally does not do? That's what I'd like to find out before anything else.
You don't want to be labeled that jerk, man.
Yeah. Ray says he did walk away, did not even shake hands at the end. Murray seems to have an attitude problem, maybe because Tua beat him in the bowl game in college. Maybe, maybe not. Also, remember, do you remember in the Combine he had that thing about the questions and the way he was, or that like they thought he was kind of aloof or he wasn't really taking it serious, and it's not that. It's just that he's not really a sociable guy, and he's not great at answering questions. I remember that when, coming out of the Combine, there were things that he said that were kind of awkward and things like that, and so people kind of picked on him for that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like he was a space cadet?
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he kind of said a couple things that were kind of
You're coming from left field, dude.
Yeah,
that's not the issue.
I forgot exactly what it was, but I do remember that specifically. So that's why before we completely kill the kid for it, maybe this is who he is, and it's not his fault. That's all I'm saying. You know, does he have to?
Everybody's character makeup is different, and you know.
Right. Is it better that he does it like Bill says? Of course, he should. But maybe this is who he is. I'm not exactly sure. So, let's see. I seen this also. He went right into the locker room. Okay. Again, I need to know, does he do that in every game? Or are we just seeing the game our team was involved in with him, so it's the only time we see it, but yet he does it every week with every other team? That's what I need to know.
You're right. Like it wasn't he was singling out Tua. It's just that's the way the guy operates.
Yeah. Oh, how do you think the Finns will deal with losing Preston Williams to IR? Come on, baby. Let's go. You know what's going to happen? Antonio Callaway is going to be unleashed. He gets activated this week. It's week 10. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
You know what was one that surprised me, Them mentioning the fact that Howard had been a 3 games in a row scratch.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Not even, bro. Well, I knew that he wasn't getting in the game and obviously wasn't affected, but the fact that, dude, you don't even get to wear your uniform. Just stay home.
No.
That's an indictment, bro.
That's why
an indictment, man.
That's why he's pissed.
You're talking about a guy that gained, 1,300 yards with the Bears, had 2 back-to-backs. Philly, he had his flashes, wasn't as consistent, but, the guy right out the blocks is a rookie, man, gained 1,300 yards.
Yeah. Antonio Callaway, my man. That is my answer. I think they're going to add him now to the mix. Obviously, they'll try and use some of the young guys and see if they can, include him in there. Jakeem Grant, I think, will play a slightly bigger role. They might try to find him in a couple plays, but this is a great opportunity right now for Antonio Callaway. And remember last week I told you that Preston Williams needed to, play with, a fire in his ass? He was playing with that last week. He was catching everything in sight. Didn't drop anything last week. So he needs to hopefully get healthy in a couple weeks. He's on the IR now, so at least he's gone for 3 weeks. Whenever he does come back, he needs to play lights out. It all depends, too. Because if Antonio Callaway stinks out the next couple weeks, then they'll bring him back, and he's got no pressure because there's really nobody else that's really going to take his job. But if he wants to actually, keep the job, he better come back and excel big time because Callaway now will get an opportunity over the next couple of weeks. And he adds a little different dimension because Callaway plays on the outside just like Preston, except the difference is he can actually blow the top off the defense. Really, Antonio's issue is that he's got to have his head screwed on right. That's what his problem is. It's not that he can't play. It's not that he lacks the talent. It's not that he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows what needs to get done. He's got that talent. So it's really up to him now. Okay, the Dolphins have done everything they can possibly do. They helped him rehab. They helped him get ready for the season. I'm sure they've coached him up. He now has an opportunity. Not only is he going to come in, but he's got an opportunity. The door is wide open for him to try to start over the next couple of weeks if he shows up this week and plays well and is the good soldier. If he does all of that, listen, as a Dolphin fan, we can't get mad. We got to be happy about it. If you're Preston Williams, you're a little frustrated with that. That's where it becomes a little bit of a concern for you. So there you go. Antonio Callaway is the guy that I think they will fill in nicely. If he brings it, he will definitely do the job for the Miami Dolphins. Pat in Nashville says, hello, everybody. Thought I lost y'all. Thank you, Pat. Thank you for following us here. And thank you also on Onsite because I know you were there this morning because you sent me a text. Running backs age quickly with all the wear and tear. Howard might just be done. Yeah, he's also very predictable, Mike. He doesn't catch the passes, so the defense knows that if he's back there, he's going to either run the ball or he's just going to stay in the block. So the element of surprise or the element of concern is out the window, you know what I mean? Or doubt.
And he's got to stay in between the tackles because you remember that play when they tried to run him outside. I'm like,
oh, you can't
what in the heck are you? This guy couldn't get outside to save his life.
No, there's no way. No way. I trust a health Callaway over a healthy Preston Williams any day. Well, but right now the thing is that Callaway has not shown you that he can be consistent is the problem. Okay? That's the thing. He hasn't shown you that he can be consistent. And so that'll be an issue. He's got to learn to be consistent first and foremost. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. By the way, kudos to Dan Le Batard. Really cool thing by him. I know some people will be, I guess, nonchalant about it because he gets paid $3 million a year, 3.5, I think it is. Chris Cody, one of his producers, was part of the massive layoffs from ESPN. And I got to say, Dan stepped up and picked up the kid's salary, gave him a raise and everything, and will carry him for the next year and a half or whatever that's left on his contract with ESPN, because eventually ESPN will buy it out or get rid of Dan's show, which, again, I don't understand that. A show that brings in millions, you're going to get rid of a show that brings in I don't understand this business. I don't get this business at all. When you're productive, you should want people that are productive. If they're disruptive, that's different. Okay, disruptive and productive, that becomes a problem. But if they're productive and they're not disruptive, which Dan really isn't, why not just ride the wave? Why are you screwing with the show and trying to lessen it, which it's ridiculous. But anyway, I wanted to say there's a lot of bad people in this business, a lot of people that don't know what the hell they're doing, and they make really terrible decisions. I just want to thank Dan because that's a really classy move on his part to take care of Chris Cody, man. That's strong, man. Absolutely strong.
We've been seeing it in TV that they've been letting people go, and specifically ESPN, but usually it's radio you talk about that
hundreds
does the really bad, classless.
Well, radio's
and
the
it's
worst.
Seeping into TV now, right?
Yeah, newspapers were the worst.
Okay.
There's very little of them left, so we can't really rank them anymore. And so now radio becomes the worst medium. Yes. And then TV
But TV's trying to catch up, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, ESPN's done a great job of destroying what they were. Mr. O, I used to wear my Dolphins gear with pride no matter what everybody says to me in my town in Mexico. Now everybody wants my gear. Thanks to Mr. Greer and Flores. Yes, sir. You're right, Francisco. They're getting on the bandwagon, aren't they? Huh? That Tua bandwagon is opening up. Preston Williams is never consistent. Either catch, drop, catch, drop, catch, drop. No, you're right. You're right. That's kind of what he's been. Raging Dolphin Maniac says ESPN has been dying for a while. Yeah, I think we all watch ESPN less nowadays. I basically catch a Sports Center is what I watch. And, once in a while, a game that I have no choice that I got to watch on there, but not much of the programming. No, you're right. I'm watching very little programming from ESPN. I have to agree on that one. I think that would be pretty accurate, as they say. What else did I want to talk about today? Durham Smythe, by the way, is in concussion protocol. Flores. Definitely got to get into this. Flores actually, Flores actually said he likes the old uniforms. Did you see that story? It's pretty funny.
Well, his eyes work. He can see. Anybody can see, right?
But it's nice that he was honest about it because I'll give you the quote. This is from Joe Shad's Twitter. Brian Flores, I don't really care what we wear, but if I had to vote, I would go with the old uniforms. And I say this because some coaches may not even touch that subject because they don't care about it. But and he's not the guy that really stirs up controversy. But for Flores to even acknowledge the obvious that the new uniforms suck and that the old uniforms are absolutely the bomb, you got to love that, bro. You got to love that he thinks like us. And listen, we had Tom Garfinkel on this podcast a few months back, and he basically indirectly told us it's coming. But he's
been pigeonholed into being forced to this is what it is.
Right, because he inherited this.
He's got to let times lapse.
Right. Right. So, this is not his doing, and he's smart enough because obviously he's done so many great things. On the business end, he's been a monster for the Dolphins. He knows how important it is to go back to the other one. In the next couple of years, they're going to be able to do it. I would imagine by 2023, which will be the 10-year anniversary of it, that's when you'll get a change at that point. But he kind of told us in that interview, basically indirectly, yeah, it's coming. This was done when I wasn't here. So for him to say that part right there alone, this was done when I wasn't here, it's kind of saying, yeah, they put that crap there when I wasn't here. If I was here, we would have never done that. It's kind of basically what he's saying. Even though he didn't say that exactly, but we'll take it as that.
The jerseys, I do like the style of the numbers, and obviously it's the new style of jersey with the short cut sleeve, but it's in the old traditional Dolphins style.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the blue, and I got to be honest, the orange. I saw the orange as only a money grab. That creamsicle, that orange sickle, orange.
We had a blue one too for a short time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The blue in the stick with the aqua and orange, brother.
Yeah, all teams do that, but it just that logo is the one thing that I'll never be able to overcome.
Oh, just in case you forgot, you do know we have.
Yeah, we're gonna get floors now. Somebody's asking me which old uniforms from the 70s. My favorite are the late 80s and early 90s. I would say the 80s I do love. I like the 70s too, obviously. I love the original. But I don't mind what they did in the 80s and the 90s. That didn't bother me nearly as much. This bothered me. And what they did in the 80s and the 90s didn't bother me at all, actually, I should say. I liked it. I didn't mind that they try to make the Dolphin a little meaner. But this one, oh, God, this one is just an embarrassment. It really is. So, now that the Finns are winning again, the current uniforms look even worse. Yeah, I know. I think the new logo looks better than the 90s logo. No, I'll still take the 90s. I can't handle the new one. All right, let's hear from Brian Flores. He addressed the meteors today. Let's go over some of the issues with Mr. Brian Flores. Go ahead, Bill.
Question for you. DeAndre Washington, what is it that intrigued you guys to make him the back that you wanted to trade for and add to this team?
Well, we watched him, during the free agency process last year, so
Reggie McKenzie knows him from
good
Oakland.
Vision, good run skills, good catching the ball out of the backfield. Just doing some background on him. He's a hard worker. It's important to him. He's competitive, so an opportunity. Chris and the personnel staff did a nice job kind of pinpointing the type of guy we're looking for, and they got it done.
Cameron?
Yeah, my apologies that it ran over
Pause
into
there
the
a second.
presser.
Remember, Reggie McKenzie had DeAndre in Oakland. He was the backup there for the Raiders. So he knows him really, really well. So when they need a back, if there's some familiarity there, and DeAndre Washington's actually a nice little back. He's not a bad back, actually. As a backup, he can catch the ball. He's shifty. Not a bad back to acquire. And again, it's a late round pick, so it's not a big deal. And it helps you in a pinch at this point in time because you had some injuries and inconsistencies there. So it's not a big deal. But don't forget, he's not going to tell you there, but I'll tell you, Reggie McKenzie is the guy that had him in Oakland. So you had one of your personnel guys knows him really well. So that's the kind of insight you want in order to make this kind of a trade and transition. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, I know you mentioned it a little bit yesterday, but Justin Herbert being more effective against the blitz, how does that change what you want to be aggressive and send some blitzes? Does that do anything, knowing a quarterback's, been effective at that?
Yeah, I mean, when, you see some of the things that you've done in the past or in previous games show up in another game, and he's been effective against it. Makes you think twice about going that route. So we'll, we've kind of gone through the defensive game plan, extensively, without getting into, too deep into what we're going to do or what we'd like to try to do. Yeah, that's part of it, part of the equation. He's done a good job against pressure, but he's really done a good job against everything. So, and they do a good job offensively, run game, pass game, screens, draws. They move the ball efficiently, third down, red zone. So it's a good football team. That's one element of it. It's pressure, and if we call it, when we call it. We've got to do a good job executing, knowing full well that they've been able to execute against those types of, let's call it defensive structures. So definitely a tough test. He's a good player. They got good coaches. They got receivers, tight ends, backs. So it'll be a tough test for us.
Joe?
Morning, Flo. Wanted to ask you about Matt Breida. I know yesterday was just a walkthrough, so you might not be sure how much better he's feeling. But also, we know he's one of the fastest players in the league. But what are some of the things he needs to do beyond being fast in order to maximize potential and help the team?
Well, I think he's definitely helped the team thus far. But it was nice to see him out there yesterday and just take a few reps and see him move around a little bit. So that was nice. But look, like you said, he's fast, he's explosive, he's tough. I think he's done a really nice job for us in the kicking game. He's gotten his opportunities as a runner. He's broken some big plays, and he just needs to do what he's been doing. He prepares the right way. It's important to him, and if he just continues to do what he's been doing, I think he'll be just fine.
Armando?
I have a very high football IQ question. I'm wondering what you think of the throwback uniforms, and would you ever support having those uniforms as your full-time uniforms?
I'm not a big fashion guy. It's not really, at the top of my priority list. I like the new uniforms. I like the old uniforms. I like the old logo. But I like playing and coaching football. So sorry, Mondo. That's not really at the top of my priority list. It's not really something I think about. I know there's people who love the old uniforms. But old uniforms, new uniforms. I like to coach. I don't really care what we're wearing. So if you want me to vote, I'll vote for the old uniforms. If you want me to cast a vote. So
there you go.
To choose the old or the new. I'd probably go with the old.
Smart man.
Wanted to ask you about Keenan Allen. He's a very good route runner, just to simplify things, and he works a lot in the slot. Does that create different challenges for you guys? I know you faced good slot receivers before, but when you have two dynamic boundary guys, do you consider putting them inside to go against Keenan?
Yeah, Keenan's a very, very he's one of the top players in the league. Very productive, very good route runner, good hands, good after the catch. I feel like I've seen him every year for the last 10 years. He's a very good player. And he poses a lot of problems, but they got other guys that pose problems as well. Guyton, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry. So we're going to have to deal with guys on the perimeter. Obviously, we need to deal with Keenan in the slot. When he's in the slot, they move him around. So you can try to pinpoint where he is. But again, Lynn does a good job of moving these guys around. So again, that's part of it. Some of our things we have to deal with defensively. But yeah, all those conversations are had. Do we move a guy that's primarily outside, inside? Do we leave him outside and deal with the issues inside? Well, if we move and they don't move, we're good. But if we move and they move, now they got what they want. It's just those are all the kind of gymnastics you go through as you're trying to game plan. So we'll see. You'll find out on Sunday. But what we all know is that Keenan Allen's a very good player, and we know Herbert will be looking for him as he should.
Adam?
Good morning, Brian. I don't think you've been asked yet about the change of the Rooney Rule, providing compensation to teams that lose minority coaches to head coaching positions. I want to get your reaction to that change. And I was curious, was your input asked either on the league or by Steve Ross when that came up for a vote?
I mean, I've said this multiple times. I think there's a lot of very good minority coaches in this league. Good teachers, good coaches, good leaders. And if given the opportunity, I think they'd have success as head coaches in this league. Head coaches, general managers. I think I support the change. As far as any conversations that I've had, or those kind of stay internal within our building and with whoever I have conversations with. I think that's just common courtesy. But yeah, I look. There's a lot of good coaches in this league. White, black. But there's certainly, if you're asking me about minority coaches, there's certainly a large contingent of capable and smart, bright leaders in this league. So I'm hopeful that they get the opportunities they deserve, and I'm sure if given those opportunities, they'll have success.
I got to tell you something. Pause that a second there. I find that rule to be so insulting, because you should be hiring people on their merit, on their talent. You shouldn't be hiring them on their color. And so now you might be forcing the issue in hiring a minority that doesn't deserve to get hired, but yet you're doing it because of the PR move to it and then the compensation that you might get from the league on it. And that, to me, I don't know if that really helps the cause. I think what helps the cause is that you give minorities the opportunity, and then you show the racist people that own the teams that, hey, you know what? Minorities also can listen. Blacks couldn't play quarterback. They couldn't play middle linebacker because they were labeled like, oh, no, they're not smart enough to do it. That was the thinking in the NFL for decades. And then finally, Willie Lanier, plays for Kansas City, shuts everybody the hell up, and it's so on and so forth. And then the quarterback position, it has changed now, finally. Now I don't really think the color is any more the issue anymore. Now it's just a matter, does he fit your system or not, and what you're doing. But now plenty of minority quarterbacks are getting, opportunities. But we haven't crossed over to general managers. We haven't crossed over enough to head coaches. We have the players, and now we have the players at all positions, and we have assistant coaches. We even have coordinators, but we still don't take the next step to head coach, to general manager, and also even owner. You know what I mean? And it's all these labels that we put on things, and that's why we've kind of lived in that area. I personally hate that you're incentivizing something that does not need to be incentivized. But you're only incentivizing it because the people that own your teams aren't objective enough. That's the difference between basketball and the NFL. In basketball, they're actually objective. They actually care about their players. They actually want to understand the things they go through, and they meet them halfway in a lot of these things. The NFL,
you got to dangle a carrot and give them incentives to make a move in the right direction.
That's because the NFL treats everybody like, you're my slave, basically. All right, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask about the COVID situation. Do you expect any coaches to return to practice today? Also, Lynn Bowden Jr. on the COVID list. And I wanted to ask you about any advice or talks you've had with Solomon Kinley, after the O-line changes against Arizona last week?
You're gonna hit me with 4 questions right there, huh, Saf?
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so as far as Solomon, Kinley, I talked to all the offensive linemen. I try to talk to everyone on the team. But look, my message is normally the same. Let's improve. Let's get better every day. What happened last week or 6 weeks ago really doesn't matter. It's about what you do today, how you perform in practice today, and that's how you take advantage of your opportunities when they present themselves. I didn't write them down, so can you unmute them and we can kind of go through these again?
Yeah, just your COVID situation. If you expect any coaches to return to practice today and Lynn Bowden.
All right. So expect Lynn Bowden to be back today. Coaches, we'll get a couple back. I'm not going to get into who, but we may get a couple back. And then I think our guys have done a good job as far as having the next man up mentality, whether it's players, coaches, equipment, training room. I think everyone has that mentality. So it's been good that way. I think it's always good to do something that you're not normally doing, maybe a little uncomfortable, but in the end, you're probably better for it. Have a better understanding of the overall scheme and different vantage points of how other positions or other players see things. So there is some good that comes out of it, I think, in my opinion.
Time for one more. We'll go to Barry.
Hi, Brian. Speaking of Lynn, it'd be helpful to know this year whether Lynn and Malcolm Perry, not to lump them together, but obviously 2 rookie former college quarterbacks, if they're more change of pace guys or if they're actually could develop into legit slot receivers. If you could please address where both of them stand in their growth toward that goal.
So it'd be helpful to know for who? For you,
It'd be helpful to know for you guys, for Dolphins fans, for writers who cover the team and are trying to determine, okay, could these guys be long-term slot receiver options?
Well, when we start talking long-term, Barry, that's when I got to revert back to today.
That's right.
I think the message is and always will be, let's not think about long-term and how far down the road or how many years we're going to be, this, that, or the other thing. The focus is today. Improving today, having good meetings, having good walkthroughs, having good practice, stringing them together. That will hopefully manifest itself in the game. If and when their opportunities, show up in the game. I think sometimes you can make progress and no one sees it and it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And you may be the long-term answer, or someone may be the long-term answer, and you guys don't know, and I don't know, and no one knows, and then bam, things happen, and it's because of the work that was done.
Preston Williams.
Previous 8-9 weeks. So again, looking for the long-term answer, in one game. I don't think that's normally how it happens. I think it happens over time. I think it takes time. And there's let's call it a compounding, basically it takes, there's a growth here that occurs over a period of time. And
you got to let it happen.
We don't know if it's long-term because it's still very early.
All right, so
that's kind of my thought.
Oh, I got it. Let me finish there.
That's on both of those guys as well as every other young player we're dealing with on this team.
All right, let me explain
what you're looking for, Barry, but it's the one I got for you.
All right, so
that's the end. That's the end.
There we go. Let me explain why that's a silly ass question by Barry. So the kids barely played Lynn Bowden. Is it Bowden? Is it Bowden? He said Bowden. So I'll go Lynn Bowden. He's barely played. So Barry already wants a determination whether he's a long-term player or not. That is he a scat back? Is he an every down player? So So Lynn Bowden is going to read that soundbite, and he's already going to say, wow, the coach already labeled me what I'm going to be. How do you think that works out? How do you think it works out? Well, Barry, I see him as a scat back. And maybe he's a 2,000-yard back. I don't know. Did you know Preston Williams was going to kick ass? Was going to screw his head on right? Because he fell out of the draft because he was such a screw-up? Did you know that? Did I know that? No. Did they know that? No. They just took a chance on the guy. He's talented. We've seen a lot of people that are talented and they don't do anything, right? I think we've gotten to a point in media and fans that they think these guys play fantasy football, right? Because, me and Bill, we got a fantasy team, right? We got a dynasty league. You know what a dynasty league is, right? That you draft players you're keeping. So me and Bill pick a player in the second round. But we pick this young guy that we love his upside, but we don't know. We're kind of taking a chance. And then we say, hey, doesn't matter. Next year, we'll have another pick. We'll replace him. We'll just try this guy out. You can do that in fantasy. In the NFL, can you imagine the report from last week from ESPN? That stupid-ass report from Schefter and ESPN that said that they were giving Tua a 10-game tryout so they can see what they have, so they can go to the. Do you know how stupid that sounds? Do you know how much a lot of you would absolutely fry Chris Greer? Wait a minute, you're telling me that guy drafted Tua just to give him a 10-game look and then move on? Well, why didn't he take this defensive end and that tackle and this guard and this wide receiver and that corner? He could have taken that with the 5th pick. Why did he have to take Tua if he was only going to give him? You guys would roast Chris Greer. I would roast Chris Greer for that. Everybody would roast Chris Greer for that. Because wait a minute, what do you mean you're taking a guy for a 10-game tryout? You don't do that with the 5th overall pick. I could do that with the 7th round pick that I drafted that was late in the draft. I could do that with a street free agent I picked up. You know what? We got 8 games left this season. Let's throw him out there. Let's see if he's got anything. If not, of course, because he's an 8th round pick. He's a 15th round pick. He's a street free agent. He's not worth much. The 5th overall pick. And so now Barry asked the question like, hey, well, so tell us what Lynn Bowden is in your eyes already. Coach is not going to do that. Do you do that to your son or daughter? Because you would be a bad parent. Right? Are you going to cap off what your son or daughter can do? Even if you know what you think they know, what they can do? You're like, yeah, no, I know my son is not going to make it to the majors. Let me tell him. Son, maybe you make it to college. That's about it. But you really shouldn't have aspirations of the pros.
He's a C student. Let's have him go to junior college.
Exactly. I view you as a, college player at best. Maybe you'll make it to single A. Do you really want to live in a crap town? Come on, let's be a dentist. Are you going to do that to your kid? Are you going to do that to your wife? Are you going to do that to your husband? Are you going to do that to your cousin? Are you going to do that to your friend? Are you going to do that to the kid you coached? No. You allow people to try to excel and reach their dreams and reach their potential and reach their maximum because you see talent. You cannot predict what is their max. And so now there's a reporter asking the head coach, give us your final determination on what you think this player is. And boy, that really would have gone over well with the player. I mean, the only way it goes well is if he says, well, I think Lynn Bowden is going to be, what's the name of that dude from the Steelers, the special teams, the wide receiver, the Georgia kid. That was absolutely awesome. Great special teamer, great receiver. Bro, what's his name, man? Come on, Pittsburgh. Just a couple years back.
Oh.
Georgia. What's his name, man? Somebody, Hines Ward. Bro, I'm the one that's like running everything here, bro.
You're
What's wrong with
talking
you?
Heinz Ward? That guy was he was the best blocking receiver in the NFL.
But that's my point. He didn't come into the league to become that. He came in as a special teamer. So did Troy Brown. So what are you going to do? Just tell him, you're a late round pick. You're this. You're a special teamer. That's all. You're not going to do that. That's why it's unrealistic.
Your lot in life is blah blah.
Right. You don't do that, dude. My daughter wants to study whatever. Let's go. Let's go. Work hard. You can achieve it. Okay? You got to allow people to fail. You got to allow people to get an opportunity. You got to give them that chance so they can actually live with themselves. Because if you're mature enough, you can handle the reality. What you cannot handle is the lack of opportunity. That's really hard because when you know you can do something and you're not given that chance, that's a frustrating part. And that's exactly what would have happened if he would have said, I don't think he's much of a pass catcher. He can run. And Lynn Bowden's going, well, wait a minute, you haven't even seen me yet. I can catch the ball. Limitations, baby. Big O, I didn't want to rush to say this, but Brian Flores is starting to really look and act kind of like a modern-day Don Shula. I love it.
I got a question for you. Just because, we fly by the seat of our pants. We're not struggling. We can do it like you say. We can do whatever we want here.
Yes, sir.
You're at 2 hours right now, and we do have a Tua from yesterday.
Oh, yeah, let's do Tua.
You want to do that right now?
Yeah, let me answer a couple questions here before
I do Tua.
We
haven't reached out to these guys in 3 days.
Yep.
For sure.
Raul says, are we wearing the throwback jerseys this weekend, Big O? I think they are. I'm not exactly sure, but I think they are. I think they actually are wearing them. Chargers should wear the powder blues, and we should wear our 72s. And that's it.
Man, that would be awesome.
Yep. Somebody was asking me about throwbacks back there. I don't know which one of you did that, but I want you to know this. Don't hate me for this. But I think the old throwback Patriots are one of the coolest logos in the history of football. Okay?
Oh, the center in the traditional bicentennial.
The center hiking the ball?
Yeah.
Badass, bro. Love that logo. One of my favorite logos of all time. And I hate the Patriots, but, man, I love that logo. God, that logo is so cool. Got to give it to them, man. Good logos are good logos, man. The Bears, not because you're here, you crap head, but I love the Bears C. I love the Green Bay G. I got no problem with that, dude. Still say the Steelers should have a sticker on the other side. That part, I almost feel like the Steelers did this because years ago they didn't have enough money, so they only had enough money to put a sticker on one side of the helmet, and then it kind of stuck. I kind of think that's what it is. Alex D has given us a little love on the Super Chat. Big O, the amount of injuries that the Dolphins have gone through, and they still find a way to win. I'm so proud of this team, and welcome back. Thank you, Alex. Didn't go anywhere. Go, Alex, go to Onside Radio. All right, onsideradio.com. Download the My Tuner Radio app. Search for Onside Radio. I'm on every morning at 11 a.m. I did not go anywhere. I know we've had some snafus here, and we're waiting for Bill to kind of overcome some adversity there, and then we can move on, and we'll be on every day like normal, but it may not be, perfect times and all that, but we'll get back to doing our thing.
Wheels, wheels, wheels.
Yes, wheels. And we're not talking about meatballs wheels.
We're not talking about the bus, the wheels on the bus going running. We're not talking those wheels.
No. Gus 1388 says, Van Noy, Wilkins, and Matt Cole on COVID list. Looks like they're out this week. Then somebody else has to step up and get it done. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You do that with Josh Rosen, Chad Henne, and John Beck of the world. First-round picks aren't picks to be projected gambles. You last in the league with that thought process. Idiotic. Exactly. It's the stupidest thing in the world. You're going to draft a guy number 5 overall. Oh, and by the way, we're just going to give him a 10-game tryout. Huh? Are you kidding me? Dennis Akers, Big O, how is your daughter doing with her school? I wish the world and everything in it. I wish her the world and everything in it. Thank you so much. She's doing great, man. She's doing fantastic. She is finishing up this year, and I think if everything goes well, she goes to Harvard in the summer. And then she'll come back and she'll go on some program now. I forgot the name of the program. I can't keep up with all this. It's like stuff that's too smart for me. Really, it's like the girl's studying cancer research and stuff. Hey, come on. It's just that girl was smarter than I was when she was in 4th grade. It's ridiculous. But she's doing great. She's doing great, man. She's happy, and I'm happy for her because she's happy. You know what I'm saying? But working like crazy. A lot of home. It's at home. She's doing all virtual pretty much. I agree. Pat the Patriot is a great logo, especially with the red jerseys. Oh yeah, dude. Awesome jerseys. Love them. I got to give credit to people, even if I hate the Patriots, which I hate the Patriots, but I love that logo. God, that logo is so cool. I would never change that logo if I was the Patriots. But then again, I would never change the Dolphin logo, and look what happened. The coolest logo in football is the wrinkling Raider wearing an eye patch. It's a great logo, great colors, great logo. Never change it. Don't have to. I'm with you. It's a great logo. Not a fan of the Raiders either, but I got to give them love, man. Love that logo.
Bro, that all white.
Yes.
That all white jersey, man.
Yes.
With the silver. It's like the Heat.
The black
when they
letters
went
and
all white.
Yeah.
Man, there's something about that all white.
Yeah.
It's just
I agree.
Classy, man.
I agree. It's like the powder blues of San Diego. Or L.A. now. But the powder blue jerseys from the Chargers, that might be the nicest jersey ever in football. The powder blues.
Whenever you say powder blue, but I immediately look 21 Bambi.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Definitely. Or LaDainian was 21, wasn't he? Also, wasn't LaDainian also 21? Were they both 21?
Yes. Yeah, well, that's your rookie keeper, man, from fantasy.
Yeah, he helped me a lot, man. Rosendo says Harvard, awesome, very expensive. No, it didn't cost us a penny. Get your kid to study. Get your kid to get the grades. Don't tell me that this country will not provide you an opportunity. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Not a penny. So that's been the amazing part. We got our, so blessed. We got the Florida College Fund. What's it called? Florida Prepaid College Plan or whatever.
Yep, exactly.
We started doing that when she was in the womb. Okay? In the womb is when we opened up that account. And we've barely used it. Books, maybe. Couple of books. Not much. If we've used 500 of it, I'd be surprised. That's how crazy it is. She's been able to get,
She's like getting paid right now to go to school.
She gets paid to go to school, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Sign me up, man. Make me a professional student.
Like I said, dude, I'm a witness of it. There are opportunities. It's just your kids have to study. They have to hit the grades. They have to hit the books. They have to work hard like what you do every day. Kids have to do it too. If you're half-assing it like I did in school, that all I wanted to do, once I hit 5th grade, I kind of coasted the rest of the way. I figured it out. I go, well, I just need to do enough to just get by. And that's kind of what I did, and it was about, as I got to high school, it was skipping and going to the beach and having fun and let's go to Pace, skip 6th period and go to Pace and meet the girls when they get out of school. And, that was me. Luckily, my wife was the real student, and that's why she became the teacher. And luckily, my wife is the one that has been on top of my daughter from day one. And fortunately, the daughter did not pick up my habits or lack thereof for school. Okay.
Well, let's face it. In the 6th grade, 5th grade, like honestly, the classes she was taking, you couldn't have helped her if you wanted to.
No, I couldn't anyways.
Okay.
No, I couldn't anyways.
I can remember going to concerts and
Yeah.
when she got to triple variables in Algebra 2 and us having a conversation and just being like, Orlando, you can forget about being involved with this. Me, the wife, and the baby are going to have a conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I definitely could not get involved in it. Thank the Lord. But we're fortunate, man, in that sense. So thank you. All right, let's do a little Tua. Tua addressed the Meteors yesterday. He had a couple things to say I think that we'll be able to go over. Let's hear from the Dolphins starting quarterback.
Hey, Tua. Hey, I wanted to ask you, I talked to Flo a little bit about this morning, but, there's so much national attention on you, on this team, on this defense. With such a young team, is there anything that you guys say to each other to just kind of keep your head focused? And then I also wanted to ask you about another big weekend for the Tagovailoa brothers and just kind of conversations between you and your brother about the success you guys are having so far.
Yeah, I'll start with me and my brother. So, after games, we call one another literally while we're in the locker room. But after this past game, I called my parents, FaceTime them and whatnot, and then I FaceTime my brother. It's always good to just, talk to him and whatnot, and he always asks questions and has questions for me. I just tell him, certain things that went through my head, and then also talk to him after. But we're always supporting one another in that sense. But I think as a team, the way we go about doing things every day is it's kind of hard to get complacent. And so the way we go about doing things, is just with what Flo says, is just, keeping our head down, continuing to grind. The feeling of winning is good, but, the feeling of loss is, it's the opposite, and we don't want to feel that. And so we know that in order to give us the best chance to be successful, we gotta go in, and we gotta work hard in preparation, as well as executing, like I said, preparation for the team that we're up against.
Steve?
Hi, Tua. Coach was talking today about your dead leg move on Buda Baker. Said he hadn't seen you use that one at Alabama. I'm wondering, is that a new move? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I was just out there trying to play football. Just, I thought I had an opportunity to try and make a guy miss. I know he probably wasn't expecting that. So that was, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Cam?
Hey, Tua, what's up, man? Those are some nice trophies back there. You're nearly, I guess, a year removed from that injury you suffered at Bama. Does that year mark have any added significance for you, and how close do you think you are to your old self?
Oh, man. I don't know if I'll ever be my old self, because when something dramatic like that happens, it's just a continuous process, I think, for me. Just continuing to focus on what I need to do to continue to strengthen the muscles around my hip and so forth, and just continue to stay on rehab. But it's been a journey. It's just been a journey. Just looking back at that whole process, literally almost a year. Sorry, from now, we making a decision to decide if I was going to be able to play again or not. So I'm just blessed to be here.
And what you love about that is you're a year in, and he's still talking about the rehab and what he has to do to strengthen the muscles around. And this is super important because you have to handle this with the same kind of professionalism that you would for an advertising, for throwing a touchdown, all the good things that happen to you in life. This is not the fun part, right? Getting injured is not fun. Being operated on is not fun. And then rehabbing is not fun. And then the maintenance that you have to do because you suffered that injury, you have to stay on it and be responsible about it. Again, you just got to love the level of maturity and the professionalism that you get from such a young person on a consistent basis. Go ahead, Bill.
Here.
Travis?
Tua, how's it going, man? I wanted to ask you about the communication you had with George Godsey throughout the course of the game. I had a chance to speak to Adam Shaheen, who told me that Godsey is one-of-a-kind communicator. I'm just curious about your interactions with Coach and his ability to kind of come in there and do a job that he hadn't been doing all year on the game on Sunday.
I think that's what this whole year's sort of been about. It's been about adjustments, and we didn't have a lot of, our coaches out there, and so we had to make some adjustments coaching-wise. So with Godsey being able to take that role, I don't even think this is his first time doing that as well. I understand he's been an OC before too. So this was nothing new to him. But as far as communication went, I think it was a pretty good job from Godsey's part as far as getting the play in, and then also certain reminders coming onto the sideline before series, in and out.
And let me tell you something. You're again, maturity. We talked about handling an injury with maturity, handling the rehab, and being responsible about it. Here's the other thing. 5 of your coaches were missing. One of your key offensive coaches were missing in this game. But again, when you have a young man that is not worried about partying, like Johnny Manziel is in the Cleveland building, and he's dying to get out to go hit the streets and go party and go drink. And he's not, Tua's the guy that is leaving the building once he's had every conversation he can possibly have. He's done everything, and then he's going home, and then he's probably going to look over his iPad and look at the game plan and all that while he's at home relaxing. This is what you need in these kind of moments. In a moment where you were missing coaches, in a moment that you're playing a game, okay? You're playing a road game, too, on top of all of that. It's your second start, and you had a poor start. You got to be focused. And as coaches, the fact that you have a young man that's this mature is a safety net. Because if you're missing all these coaches and Manziel's out there, what a disaster. He didn't prepare. He didn't work hard enough to be prepared. So he's going to fail you, and he's going to fail his coaches and his teammates. This kid knows that his coaches aren't there, so he's going to pick up on it, and he's also going to communicate to his coaches throughout the week, how do we make it easier for each other? That's the kind of person you have playing quarterback. And if you don't have that guy, it's really hard to win.
Your tight ends coach moonlighting as your quarterback's coach. He's missing his quarterback coach.
Yeah, it's enormous. But again, maturity, preparation, all of that allows the Dolphins to do this. Okay? If it's not this guy and it's other guys, they struggle because of one thing or another. Go ahead.
Hey, Tua, I believe last week you said finally being able to get some game film was really beneficial for you. So I'm wondering what you've been able to take away now that you have these 2 starts under your belt. And was there anything you thought you were able to correct or improve upon from start 1 to start 2?
Yeah, start 1 to start 2. I would say we were able to push the ball downfield a lot more. We were able to get into a groove offensively with the pass game, as well as the run game. But I think there's just continuations of what you can improve on. I think that's the best thing, and that's the best way to go about it. When you feel like there's nothing else you can improve on, then that's not good. So,
Josh?
Yeah, so the NFL films crew caught a pretty heartfelt moment there at the end of the game where you gave that ball to Flo. What inspired you to do that, and could you just kind of take us into that moment of did it seem as special as it looked on film?
Yeah, well, I seen Flo. Flo was waiting, and I had the game ball. And when I went up to him, it was just one of those, like, I don't know. For me, it was like, thank you for taking a shot on me. Because, like I said, a year ago, who would have known? I could have had a season-ending injury, but the Miami Dolphins decided to take a chance on me. So that was awesome.
Adam?
And let me tell you, pause there a second. One of the things that I love about that scene, if you haven't watched it, on Twitter, you can put on the search engine Tua and then hit videos after the search is done, and then videos will pop up. That video will be in one of those videos, and you'll see Tua coming off the field and giving the ball to the game ball to Brian Flores and thanking him, and Tua and Flores saying he appreciates him and all of that. And I talked about this a couple of days ago before Tua talked, and that's exactly what I said. That's Tua telling him thank you, because you were winning. You had no reason to start me, okay? Yet you believed in me so much that you took me off a hip injury at number 5, and now the team is winning. The quarterback that's starting is actually playing well, and yet you're benching him for me. And so, again, Tua's awareness, bro. A guy like Johnny Manziel, and I got to keep using Johnny Manziel because he's just a perfect example. Johnny Manziel would not appreciate what Flores did. Johnny Manziel in that moment would say, well, of course he's starting me, dude. I'm the man. He better start me because I'm going to carry him and his team and his franchise and everybody else to the Super Bowl, even though he's not going to do squat. But that's how he would have looked at it. Whereas Tua, humbled the way he is, he appreciates that because he understands that the coach is in a very difficult position, that if he's making this call, it's because he believes in the kid and he's willing to take the criticism that comes with it. Remember, we had people talking about Fitzpatrick like he was Joe Montana. Like, really? You're benching him? Why? You're going to put the kid in now against the Rams? It's stupid. It's crazy. Yet it's all worked out, right? And so that's the awareness of this young man that cannot go overstated. That cannot be, not mentioned. And that's where, and those meetings on Tuesdays, that goes a long way between those two guys bonding, okay? Because the coach appreciates that young man cares enough that he wants to ask on the defensive side, because I don't believe every quarterback does that. I don't. I don't believe Mark Sanchez did it. I don't believe Johnny Manziel did it. I don't believe a lot of quarterbacks. Ryan Leaf, I don't believe that. I believe they all were coached by their quarterback's coach and their offensive coordinator and all. But I doubt they are like Tua, going around asking the defensive players their opinions and meeting with their defensive-minded head coach every week to get his perspective on what defenses are doing to him. I'm sorry. I disagree. I don't think a lot of these kind of coaches, a lot of these kind of players do this kind of stuff. And that's why that was big. Go ahead.
Tua, I wanted to ask you about the wide receiver situation. We got news today that Preston's going to miss at least 3 weeks. How big of a blow is that to the team? What receivers that we haven't seen much of on the field are you confident can step up? And
I say confident everybody.
How are you going to distribute the ball now?
Yeah, it's tough losing someone like Preston, who's kind of been a game changer, for us while he's been in there. He's been targeted a lot more, I feel like, this year in our offense. But, I mean, it's next man up, and really it's pretty much all the guys that you guys have seen, against when we played the Cardinals. That's pretty much the guys that need to step up, and then there's probably going to be some other guys as well, but it's just really a daily competition for all of us. Receiving core, quarterbacks, the list goes on, and so nothing really changes as far as who I'm going to target more and whatnot. I got to go through my progression, and if that's the open person, then that's where the ball needs to go to.
Now, let me also reiterate one more thing. I'll add what he can't say. I'll say it, okay? Because he'll never say this, ever. He'll say this. Don't worry about who plays. they're all going to be better because of him. This kid elevates people. He's the kind of quarterback that makes people better. If you're Russell Wilson and you're playing with him, you're better. If you're Pat Mahomes and you're playing with Pat Mahomes, you're better than what you normally are because of him. That was Marino. That's Montana. That's these kind of cats. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers plays with a whole bunch of no names all the time, and he makes them household names. You know what I mean? He's that guy. So like he says, I just got to go through my progressions because that's what he's going to do. He doesn't have a bias going into the lineup. He doesn't go into the huddle going, all right, yeah, Devontae, everything's going your way. He doesn't do that. He goes to the open guy. If it's Patrick Laird on a sideline, or if it's Preston Williams in between three guys, or if it's Devontae Parker being covered by, you name it, whatever, doesn't matter. Or Gesicki or any of the other tight ends, the guy, it doesn't matter to him. He understands, just like Fitz, in that sense, that you will throw to the open guy. Not necessarily, oh my God, I'm fixated on one guy and I'm constantly throwing to him. Not him. This is a kid that's going to make everybody else better. Not that he'll tell you that. Go ahead. Play it.
Sam?
Hey, Tua, Sam Gordon here from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, checking in all the way out from Vegas. Just wanted to get your perspective. Jerry and Henry have obviously had impacts with their respective teams out here in the AFC West. What made each one of those guys unique to throw to during your time together at Alabama?
Yeah, well, first they're both really good, but they're both really different. Henry is really explosive. He's really fast. Everyone knows that. You can throw it at whatever radius you want to, and he'll go and get it. And then with Jerry, Jerry's a playmaker. He's those big time plays. Jerry's gonna go down and make those for you. His route running is, I believe it's superb. So, I've been very fortunate to have, been teammates with those guys. And I'm happy for them, with their success that they've been having so far in the NFL.
Joe?
Hey, Tua, good to see you. Because Justin Herbert was drafted one spot after you, I kind of feel like your careers will always be intertwined, 5, 10, 20 years from now, people will be wondering, well, how did it turn out? They took Tua, they didn't take Justin. How do you process that, and sort of how do you feel about that comparison that will forever be made?
Well, I just think that's just something that's going to have to be dealt with in the media. I have no animosity towards Justin Herbert. And for me, it's not even a competition between me and him. It's a competition for myself to go out and, see what I can do to help our team be successful against their defense. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for Justin as well. But yeah, that's kind of my thought with all of that.
Final question, Adam.
Hey, Omar, you all right? You haven't asked a question in a long time, huh?
Hey, Tua. This is obviously a unusual year to come into the league, especially for a quarterback trying to get up to speed. I wonder, when you look back in the summertime, even though there was, not a lot of on-field reps to be had, where there would have been usually, and no preseason games, what did you do and your coaches do that allowed you to get up to speed in the preseason that was obviously abnormal?
Yeah, I would say nothing really changed from a camp practice standpoint. We just practiced, and we'd have walkthroughs for the rookies, and the rookies would have early meetings before our actual position meetings. But yeah, you said it. It's difficult when you don't have an actual preseason. But it's for every rookie around the league. We're all learning on the fly right now. So, it's either you're going to pick it up or you're not.
There you go. That is Tua, and he's picking it up, and he'll be fine this week. It'll be fun to watch. It's just fun to have a quarterback again, right? That's what it is. It just feels good, man. Feels good to have a guy that can actually play the game, understand it, anticipate, all of those things, intelligent, a leader, people rally around him. You know, it's, what was it that I read? The kid is humble. I like him more. A beautiful gift from God a beautiful gift from God that teaches us to be humble. And, you know, these are the things that you see from this young man. And it was funny how he took a shot at Omar. And then Omar, I guess, did not ask a question or something. I don't know why, but I guess he was. I guess he's out there. Herman says, "In my house, my son is the smart one. My daughter is more like Big O and me. Ha ha. I hope she's not like me, bro. Too much. I had too much fun in school. I shouldn't have had that much fun in school. But it was fun." Tua is so proper, so professional. You'd think his third or fourth year in the league, the way he speaks. Exactly. Julius 305 giving us a little love on the Super Chat. Julius says, no meeting today, right? Like Moss says, keep killing it. Thank you. You heard the Moss interview. We had Jorge Moss yesterday on our show, and he was amazing, man. Like he always is. It was great.
I have to say, bottom line, to like be our first day back, obviously missing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You like killed it today. Do you know you just set a record for the longest segment? Do you have any idea where you're at running amok?
I have no idea. What have I done? Right.
Bro, 104 minutes, dude, non-stop this second hour. So only, an hour and 44 minutes,
That's
bro.
not bad.
You think, what? Not bad.
Not bad.
This is a new record, dude.
I
You're a maniac.
I wasn't trying to break a record.
You killed it here.
I wasn't trying to break a record there, but I get it.
I just looked down and I went, 2 hours and we did 46 and like, wait a second. I'm sitting over here doing the math and I'm like, literally an hour and 46 minutes nonstop.
We're just trying to survive in the world,
Yeah,
baby.
making up big time for the last 3 days, bro.
We are just trying to survive. I appreciate all of you out there as always. Francisco says, when I hear every player speak on this team, now I know why Rashad Jones or Sue or Kiko won't fit on this team. That's kind of unfair, Francisco. I don't think Kiko is a bad person at all. I just think Kiko's a mediocre linebacker that plays out of control. You know what I mean? Sue is a mercenary. I don't think Sue's a bad person. I just think he's kind of a mercenary, and he's a good player. He just wasn't worth the kind of money that Miami was paying, and not really a fit right now for what Miami is doing. And Rashad Jones is already old at this point, and that shoulder was already, toast. I'm not. Francisco, I think you're being a little harsh on those guys. Not that I'm a fan of Kiko. I never was. And Sue, I always thought was a good player, just extremely overpaid for Miami. And Rashad was a hell of a player. He just got old, But I think there are different reasons why they're not fits here. But it's not because they're bad individuals, because I don't think any of those guys are bad individuals. I think they're fine. Again, I won't put them in the Johnny Manziel category. I guess today's been my favorite day to, pick on Johnny Manziel and what kind of a loser he is. Let's see. Our QB, our team, coach, and GM, it's a perfect marriage because everybody has the same mindset, team-first mentality, no selfish or drama queens on this team. They found and built a great foundation. I agree. Let's see. What else do we have? Maybe Russell Wilson will do what Tua is doing. He's the only one. Tua's the man calling out the media. He's just busting chops, having some fun. I like it. Tua is the blessing that we've been waiting for. Alex says, Big O, did you watch the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions? No, I did not. I'm going to watch it on Saturday. I'm going to save it to Saturday and then watch it. Herman says, we also love Onside Radio, best sports station in Florida and the U.S. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And more to come. We are going to build more and more and more. So, anyway, we got to wrap it up here on the show. It is time to wrap it up. I got to give the voice some rest.
I was going to say, bro, how's the voice feeling, man?
We're all right. We're all right. I'm sure it'll be hurting as the night goes on. But we'll rest
You're
up
using
and
your
we'll get ready
voice
for
and your
tomorrow.
arms, juggling.
Yes.
The last segment in the first hour,
yeah.
Big O should get a job at the circus because of all the things he's juggling.
Juggling?
I'm going to throw you, look, you got like bowling pins and stuff like that. Like you get thrown a chainsaw, a sword, an axe, all kinds of different crap. You got a lot going on, bro.
Yep. Quite a bit. But we'll, once we get this
Cirque
thing...
du Soleil is looking for a guy like you.
Once we get this thing off the ground, then I think we'll be off and running. We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks to Bill and Tito, Tito's on side, on Philippe. Thanks to them, audio and video, taking care of everything as always.
Thank you all.
We thank all of you out there patiently. I'm sorry that the last couple of days has been out. Hopefully we'll fix that stuff
My
up
fault,
soon.
my fault.
Yes. GP Trap You. It's like, good show, nice mask. Figured you would like the mask. Out of all people, GP, you would be the one that
wore it
appreciates
for him,
this.
right?
Yeah,
You
well,
did, kind of. I mean, I know you like Batman.
I thought of GP when
Okay,
I
right.
said, hey,
Yes.
I know he's a big Batman guy, so figured he would love the mask. So thanks to all of you out there for downloading the show, supporting us. We'll get this back on track so we can do it daily. Don't worry.
Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow we'll be out at Craig's Inn Acura, so we'll see you all out there, and we'll wrap up the Friday and the weekend. We are going to have coming some weekend stuff over on Onside, maybe even Dolphin pre and post. You never know. I'm going to try to get all that stuff going, but got to give me some time, man, to get everything off the ground. All of you out there, I want you to be safe. We got to thank our super chatters, Alex Diaz and Julius305. Thank you all out there for chiming in with the super chat.
What the hell?
Super chat.
That took guts. We need guts.
I told you I can totally super chat.
So you think you got what it takes?
You have no skills.
This is permanent.
Good job.
I'm promoting you.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
Take pride in that.
There you go. I love you all out there. Thank you for keeping it locked.
We actually
Thank
have
you for supporting us.
We actually have a Thursday night game worth watching.
I know, yeah.
What a concept.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm going Titans +1. And don't forget to download the app, My Radio Tuner. It is a free app, and you can find Onside Radio there, Onside Radio, all one word. And then click it, subscribe, follow us. We'll be on there tomorrow morning, every morning at 11 a.m. at Onside Radio, so you can catch our show there. Y'all be good. I love you. Be safe. Please wear your masks.
Wash your hands. Yeah, this is out of control.
800
please.
times a day. Wash it, please.
Social distance.
Yes.
Please.
Stay away from even family members. Stay away from them. If you don't live with them, stay away from them. All right, y'all be good. I love you out there, all right? Take it easy.
We missed you. We'll see you
Thanks
tomorrow.
to all the great people out here at Toyota of Hollywood.
Yes, thank you.